everyone, and welcome to the P1 Broadcasting Channel. You've got Murph, you've got Caleb Brashear, and we are live at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And you know what that means? It's the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series Rogue Energy 175. We've got 21 trucks signed in, some familiar faces behind the wheel of a 10-top, and, well, Caleb, it's New Hampshire. It's a 1 mile oval. I'd like to say it's like Milwaukee, but it's not, is it?
No, it's a little bit different in some ways. The banking here is slightly steeper, I believe, than Milwaukee, and it's a little bit wider than Milwaukee as well, so you're able to get a little bit more side-by-side action. However, the ends of the track, both in 1, 2, and 3, and 4, are just a little bit narrower than what we see at Milwaukee, so it's going to be a little bit slower in the corner speed, and it's going to be a little bit tighter for most of these drivers here. So many people think it's very similar to Milwaukee, to which it is, but it's different in its own ways.
You know, it most certainly is. It's 1.058 miles around here is the track measurement. Turns banked at anywhere between 2 and 7 degrees instead of flat. The track record, the straightaways, by the way, banked at 1 degree. They're not flat, Caleb, 1 degree. And the track record here held by Scott Dixon, 22.348 seconds in the 2011 IndyCar race. We are going to be going slightly slower here. Just a little bit, right? The track also has a road course. For those of you who don't know it, and if you're looking at the camera shot right now, you can see the chicane in the backstretch. The walls on the backside open up, Caleb, and it is a fun little road course that goes up in the hills behind the track, comes right back out on the backstretch, and you go around the oval again. But that's a neat little uphill, downhill switchback up there in the hills, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's not mainly used for any professional series, but for my fellow Lemons people, it is very, very popular for the Lemons races. I've been there quite a few times and driven that layout on the road course, the longest layout that they possibly got here. So both chicanes on both ends of the track and that road course, it is a very unique experience here in New Hampshire with the road course. But obviously, well, it's not very familiar with too many professional racing series. The series is mainly just known for the oval, as you said.
Yeah, I mean the last time that they had a professional road course, a professional road race here, 1972. The track record on the 1.6 mile layout belongs to George Fulmer in a Ford Mustang Boss 302 and a Trans Am car. 1 minute 12.10. If you were to run it in a modern formula, like say Indy NASCAR, it would be well under a minute. But you're not going to see professional cars. It is very narrow up in the hills. And it's not a lot of fun. The all-time outright track record is not Scott Dixon. It is Andre Ribeiro in a 1995 Reynard Honda 21,466. But that was set in practice. So how about that? He doesn't get credit. So Dixon
doesn't get credit, which is very rare you ever see.
No. Ribeiro doesn't get credit. Dixon gets credit.
Oh, Ribeiro gets.
Yeah,
I got mixed up. I apologize.
Wasn't an official session. Corey Heim has the truck record here, 29,886, and that is about right at what we're seeing out of the sharp end of this field tonight, Caleb.
Yeah, it is. You look at the leaderboard right now, there's only one driver that's actually set a sub 30-second lap time, and that's actually, well, who else is it? It's going to be Ryan O'Donohue. He's actually done an 8.97 in terms of his fastest lap here. So he's only a couple thousandths off of what Corey Heim did. And, you know, we all know how good Corey Heim is in the truck series in real life. So to get relatively comparative lap times is very, very impressive. And we should see that it should be a little bit cooler track temps once we get actually racing here. So we might go even a little bit faster than that.
You know, it's possible. Right now, track conditions are fairly ideal. 78 in the air, 90 on the track. Wind is a little bit out of the east, 9 miles an hour. It's partly cloudy, but you're right, Caleb. We're gonna see the track cool off. The truck race is going to be later in the day. Mike Rigney checks in. He's letting us know that the street stocks here on the road course are a riot. Speaking of Rigney, now you've been to a race. You've been to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Caleb. What's the skinny on the track food at New Hampshire? What we got? What's good here?
I would have no idea because I only ate Hot Pockets the entire time. I Hot Pockets and my teammate, he likes to make a lot of burritos as well, so breakfast burritos. So basically, that was our meal the entire weekend. I can't say on the track food here.
Well, there you go. Don't go to the racetrack with Caleb Brashear. He'll feed you Hot Pockets. Tonight's event, 175 laps, 175 miles. Stages are even, 55, 110, and 175. You go 55, stop, 65, and that's your race. We are just about ready to run for the Sim Shop Pole Award. Do want to thank everybody for tuning in, joining the fun. If you haven't already done it, make sure you hit the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel. We do want to thank series sponsor Archway Industrial Coatings for their support, as well as Rug Energy for their support of the AMA and the Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series. I got to say, this is going to be interesting. This is Caleb, one of the first races that we've done that's had the even stages. As you know, they've changed the stages in the trucks to basically eliminate green flag pit stops. So those are no longer necessary. And for me, it kind of takes all the strategy out of it, right? You go to the stage, you stop. You go to the stage, you stop. You go to the end, right?
Yeah, it kind of does, and kind of make it a very straightforward race for many of these drivers. You know, the only strategy you're really going to have is having that extra tire set. But we know we can go to the end on fuel, so it's basically when do you take that final tire set? Do you gamble and hope that you get a green flag run early? And even then, you have to take it under caution. You're going to go green. You're able to go green throughout the entire stage, so that's the there's not really strategy in that point of view. The only strategy is if you get a caution, do you gamble and take tires then, or do you gamble and take it later and hope that another caution comes out? That's really the only strategy you can do when the stages are set up like this.
You know it is, and I know that we've got an extra set of tires here, but it doesn't seem like the tires wear out all that much, Caleb.
No, they don't in comparison to at least the other short tracks. And it's very easy to roll the corner here in the truck here. It's kind of very easy to drive in comparison to the most recent short tracks we've had, like Richmond or even IRP, North Wilkesboro. The three most recent short tracks that we ran the last 3 weeks we've had. And it seems to be a lot easier on the tires, just mainly to do with the speeds being slightly higher in the straightaways, but about the same in the corners. So it's going to be a little bit easier, but it's not. It's still something that, of course, like in every single NASCAR race, you're going to just have to manage.
That's absolutely true, and we're going to see what the superior strategy is tonight. I sincerely doubt, Caleb, we got less than a minute to go before qualifying. I sincerely doubt that we're going to see a situation tonight where we're running that final stage under a full green flag condition. So we're going to see somebody hit the pit lane and take a chance on tires. We're also going to be monitoring the lap times to see just how much the fall off is, and we'll keep the fans in the stands apprised of that fall off as we go less than 20 seconds toward qualifying. Who do you want to watch for qualifying, Mr. Brashear?
Well, we don't really ever watch, although he might not even do qualifying from what we know him. But if Matt Wags decides to go set a couple lap times out in qualifying, he is currently second on the board. We usually don't see him often, at least in the truck series, up this far up here in the AMA Truck Series. So if he's going to set a couple Q times, I'd be willing to watch him if we can.
You know, I think that's a doggone good idea. Wags second on the board in practice. If you know he's known to kind of set a joking qualifying attempt, he'll go out and run it exactly 100 miles an hour just for pit box selection, so he doesn't start in the back. But if ever there was a time for Matty Wagner to make a qualifying run and do it seriously, this is it. He's got a fast truck, and we'll take a watch at Matty Wagner when he pulls his truck out onto the course right now. Watching Ted Craven, we'll let Ted give us the dollar tour of New Hampshire. You go down into turn number 3, lift at about the 1 board. You're going to be braking here, right, Caleb?
Oh yeah, you're going to be braking on both ends of the track here, and you can kind of see there's kind of various lines that you're able to take. The higher you go, the more you're able to use that banking, kind of like what you see at maybe IRP or even turns 1 and 2 at North Wilkesboro. But you could also use that bottom line and try to take the shallowest corner possible, and it's really kind of there's not really a dominant way to drive New Hampshire around here, and that's kind of a unique thing with it.
You know it is. The other thing is this scan does have the PJ1 on the surface, and you can tell it as Ted Craven crosses the line to start lap 2. You can tell it. If you look in the corners here, you can see where the PJ1 is at the top of the racing surface. It was not worn down by the time they scanned this thing, and that does affect the grip at the top of the racetrack.
It does, and one thing you're seeing Ted Craven do here is that this is a track where you're able to use the apron. He gets a little bit loose on exit. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time. He comes across the line, and he's not able to actually go faster because of that mistake. So, but you're able to use the apron to try to get the truck turned in just a little bit better than what you might see at other short tracks. On board with Say Hey Lewis Hayes as he's going to make his second lap here. Currently 6 on the board with a 30.7. We'll see how the number 43 in that grease mucking machine is able to do.
That is Say Hey Lewis Hayes. There he goes. He's got that truck. Not now. He's all the way down in the apron. You do that, you get the thing de-wedged. You get to turn a little bit better. Say Hey Lewis Hayes across the line. The second lap, 30.608. So he is faster, but he maintains position. And here's Matt Wagner in the Crown Royal Taupe Soaps 4D Racewear Track Rocket. Around and around Matty Wags goes. The number 17 Toyota is on the clock, Caleb.
Yeah, he is. He's going to send it about lane 3.5, we'll say, and then he cuts it really hard on exit. Try to get as much straight line speed down these straightaways. He's going to get about just shy of 155 miles an hour before he has to brake again into the opposite end of the speedway. Gets down to just below the third lane, but he's going to hit the wall off of 4. He's going to try to get stopped before he starts that second lap here.
He did it. So Wags got it stopped before the start finish line. So he's not gonna be credited with starting the second lap. That means he's got one more. He was trying to get everything he can get. But really the second lap here, Caleb, is the money lap, and well, now Wags is going to have to go out and he's going to have one shot.
One opportunity.
I think Eminem sang a song about that, yeah?
He did. So about that second lap, this is actually a track where your first lap might be the quickest, because Ryan O'Donoghue, currently the first on the board with a 30.024, actually set his fastest lap on his first lap. Same thing with Jim Duda, Kendall Paul, he set it on his second lap. So it seems to be about a 50-50 split, whether or not your first or second lap is going to be quicker. We'll see if Matt Wags, what he's able to do on his second go-around. Cuts it down hard on exits. This is gonna be a clean lap. We'll see how it is here.
It's gonna be a good one. 32.38. 32.22 is the final, and so Matt Wagner is going to line it up fifth. It was worth the panic stop to get it slowed down and go back out for the second lap, get everything reset. Matt Wagner going to line it up fifth. We only had 15 trucks take time, though, Caleb, so that'll be interesting. A lot of drivers decided they didn't want to bother. And away we go for the starting grid here at New Hampshire on the pole. Surprise, surprise, Caleb, it's Ryan O'Donoghue. 122.805 miles an hour. Ryan O'Donoghue wins the SimShop Pole Award. www.simshop.com. SimShop, just keep driving. On the outside of the front row, it's going to be Jim Duda. Row 2, Kendall Paul, Sam Crow, Matt Wagner, and Logan Edwards, points leader. They're going to line up 5th and 6th. A pair of open wheel drivers make up row 3. Paul Witt, Kenneth Smith over from the Votive Racing League, Horizon IndyCar Series. We've seen him in Area 51. He's made it over here. And so Paul Witt, Kenneth Smith, they're going to run row 4. Dylan Gretzmacher and James Hodgson, the Ford-facing 88, round out the top 10. Jason Phillips is going to start 11th. He'll have Say Hey Lewis Hayes in 12th. Sean Roberts and Ted Craven, row 7. Donald Green, the final truck to take time, is going to roll off 15th. He'll be flanked by Chuck Sweeting. Then Greg Evans, David Dunwoody, Matt Schofield, Jeremy Dunwoody, and John Houchins did not take time. Well, there we go, Caleb. 21 trucks, 175 laps in New Hampshire. 55 laps in the first 2 stages, 65 for the final. You look at Ryan O'Donoghue. He gets ready to roll off. Jim Duda alongside. That's going to be a fun battle going into turn number 1. Matt Wagner wants to know what in the world the pole selection is. Did you vote yet, Caleb?
I did not vote.
You should always vote in the poll, especially since you're the inspiration for our polls here in the AMA.
Mine?
You are.
Oh man, that's too much responsibility.
You're also setting the menu at SGE, by the way.
That's a little bit too much here.
Corn dogs and hot wings for everyone, courtesy of Caleb Brashear in September at the Renaissance in Schaumburg. Barney's got the green flag in his hand.
Green flag.
We are underway. 175 laps at New Hampshire. The field already steaming down toward turn number 1. Ryan O'Donoghue's got the lead at Kendall Paul, working to the inside of Jim Duda for P2.
Yeah, but Duda's got the outside line, able to clear Kendall off the top end of the speedway. It gets fairly single file all the way down to Logan Edwards and Paul Witt. They're going to go side by side. Logan Edwards on the outside, the 29 of Paul Witt on the inside, trying to make that move work. And right behind them, they got the new face of Kenneth Smith, a common face we see here on P1 in the leagues you said, like Horizon, like in the Votive Racing League. But he is making his second AMA truck debut or start here. He's currently in that 8th place position, and caution is out.
caution is out. Ted Craven has gone around turn number 2. And let's see what has befallen our man, the teddy bear. He's on the bottom of Sean Roberts down there. He's got Dylan Grutzmacher ahead of him. It's always weird for me to see another number 69, and well, nobody touched him. Teddy just got it loose. What people may not realize, great job of avoidance there from Greg Evans. What the fans at home may not realize is that when you get down in lane 1 here at New Hampshire, there's not much banking here to begin with, but lane 1 is not as banked as lanes 2, 3, and 4, Caleb, and it can very easily, especially on cold tires, turn you loose.
Yeah, and it seems like he may have split a little bit between that first and second lane there and possibly just upset the truck in that way. So that's possibly why he went around that easily. Maybe just put, 2 tires on one end, 2 tires on the other, and possibly just upset the truck that way. And around the Tabor goes.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Ted because he had a pretty good qualifying run. Craven was up toward the bottom part of the top 10. Sees the car go around, and now he goes to the back, and so Ted Craven gonna have to get it going forward. Do want to thank everybody for tuning in and joining in the fun. We are under the first admin box caution flag of the evening here at New Hampshire in the Track Racer 175. If you haven't already done it, make sure you hit the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, and you too can get in on all of the iRacing fun. You can also vote on your favorite microwavable track food. You got a Hot Pocket or a breakfast burrito in that microwave? Let us know in the poll. Caleb Brashear continues to conduct scientific research regarding how we eat at the racetrack. So, is it a Hot Pocket or is it a breakfast? I got to go breakfast burrito, my man. I'm telling you what. You go to Costco and you get the Ted's. I think they're Ted's breakfast burritos. You get a case of them for about $12. A little bit of egg and a little bit of sausage. That's good stuff.
Well, here's the main problem that you got here, Murph, is that you actually microwave it. What we did is we brought an air fryer with us. That is the go-to way of heating up your track food here. That's the go-to way.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. I have an air fryer, for such things as well in my house. We're modern humans here in Indiana, Caleb. But still.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, we've got
Dude,
modern.
We've got information you learn every day.
We've got indoor.
Murph has got an air fryer.
We got indoor plumbing and everything. The field is back toward Barney and the green flag, and away we go. We'll see if we can't keep it clean and green. Green flag is out. 5 laps at New Hampshire underway, and Jim Duda still under fire from Kendall Paul. I want to keep an eye on Logan Edwards though.
Yeah, he's trying to make that outside work on Matt Wagner. They're going to go side by side down the back straightaway. Top 4 kind of has strung out single file, and he's actually going to set it to the inside of that 8 machine Sam Crow into 4th place position. And Wags is going to now try the inverse, try to use that outside to his advantage, but not going to be able to work. Right behind him, Kenneth Smith and Paul Witt. Paul Witt did not get a good restart there. He's going to drop back a spot there. Wags looks to the inside of Logan Edwards in that number 17 Crown Royal machine, but he's not able to get enough alongside off the exit of the corner. But Paul Witt and Kenneth Smith right behind him, still going side by side as they go into 3.
Yeah, they are. And I was watching Logan Edwards. He moved up. He's moved up at least 2 or 3 spots on that high line. He's going to draw a bead on Sam Crow. Meanwhile, Paul Witt and Kenny Smith continue to go after it. Whoa, we got a crash.
Right,
crash, Greg Evans.
Greg Evans
hard against the outside wall. He's going backwards down the front stretch. Donald Green and Dylan Grutzmacher also involved. Evans will get that truck righted, but I have a feeling the deuce might be severely hurt. Donald Green at the top. He actually got it straightened out and just straightened it out right into the side of Greg Evans, and around they go. And poor Dylan Grutzmacher just really at the wrong place at the wrong time. Watch Donald Green here on the high side, Caleb.
Yeah, you could just see him get loose, and well, he got straightened out, as you said. Unfortunately, a little bit too late. And around Medusa goes, and around, or at least a little bit of contact with the number 69 machine as well, Dylan Grutzmacher, who has had quite a strong few runs here in the AMA, but it seems like he may have gotten away with it doesn't look like he actually got any damage at all from that incident.
Yeah.
But again, you could see just the in that 51 machine right in front.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit loose. To the outside he goes, and well, he just gets squeezed, and he's got nowhere to go.
I don't think Grutzmacher hit all that hard. I don't think he's going to have much in the way. I mean, he's going to have some damage, but I don't think Dylan Grutzmacher is going to have a lot to fix on that number 69. Greg Evans, Donald Green, Chuck Sweeting is in, but Greg Evans, he's going to have some work to do. Funnily enough, I don't show that Donald Green made a pit stop under that racket, so he must feel like his truck is okay. We'll get a zoomed in look at that one. It doesn't look too bad. Matter of fact, I don't see any marks on the front of it, Caleb.
No, it looks like he got actually away with it fairly cleanly. It seems like the only one that actually did get damaged was the Deuce himself. So unfortunate for him, and it's going to be a long one for him tonight, especially getting that damage. Well, not even 10 laps into this race.
Well, and he may not have had much. He was.
It's quite a bit on that number 2 machine. It's quite a bit on the front end if you take a look.
Yeah, there you go. The whole right front on Greg Evans. The good news, though, is he's going to have a chance under the stage brakes and so forth to get that truck worked on and get fixed. And I don't think, Caleb, that we are done having yellows this evening. I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity for Greg Evans to get the Deuce fixed and get it back up toward the front. Meanwhile, home track, Ryan O'Donohue, he and girlfriend Bridget, long-time attendees here, Caleb, and he's leading his home race. He's got Jim Dude at the outside. We've completed 11 of 175. We are ending our second caution flag of the race, and we're getting ready to get going one more time, Caleb.
We are. Pace truck makes its way down pit lane. Barney's got the green flag. Ryan O'Donohue is going to lead him off. He shoots off to the lead. Jim Duda gets a decent restart as well. Kendall Paul right to his inside. Damn Crow's going to line up fourth, and they're going to go side by side all the way back. And we got a spinner on the inside of one. That's David Dunwoody in that 28 machine. He sends it in there. But the battle is still happening, basically fifth on back.
He did. Let's look at David Dunwoody. Here he is, the number 28. He's got a new colors on the side of that Black Magic Studios Chevrolet. Here he goes. He's behind Sam Crow in the Robert Turnbull's Grease Monkey Special. And it looks like he outbroke himself, gets into Lewis, and then spins the truck out to avoid causing an incident. Thankfully for Dunwoody, he just kind of spins it harmlessly to the grass. He doesn't lose anything other than time. He's just going to go to the back. And the nearest battle in the pack is going to be Logan Edwards, Kenny Smith, and Matt Wagner. That caution really hurt Logan. It got him pinned on the outside, and he lost 2 spots just on the.
It got pinned on the inside there, Murph.
Yeah, pinned him on the inside. Well, I thought he was on the outside. Never mind. They got him pinned in the wrong line, and he lost a couple of spots. So back to work Logan goes. Best battle on the track right now is actually Kenny Smith on Matt Wagner. Smith in the 65. He's got the Gulf colors on that machine. Now, that's one that you probably don't know all that much about, Caleb. Gulf Oil.
Well, I know enough about it in racing. You always saw on those the old Porsches was the most iconic. You also saw it a little bit in the old touring car and the old rally cars as well, at least a couple of those. But it was always synonymous with those old 917s way back in the 70s. So I do know about it a little bit, Murph.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, Gulf Oil was a it was a vertically and horizontally integrated conglomerate. They owned everything: oil company, movie studios, hotel chains, you named it, they owned it. And they were actually a situation where they were too profitable. They got taken apart by corporate raiders in the mid 80s, and probably they were one of the original Seven Sisters oil companies in the United States and in the world, for that matter. They went broke because they were too successful and owned too much stuff. But I can remember driving to Florida back in the day when you used to have to take the interstate system wasn't complete. Caleb, you used to have to take US 41 part of the way down there, and the giant Gulf gas station balls on the side of the road in the south, wrapped up with garbage bags to signal the gasoline stations had closed. That was kind of a bad time. But I remember those. I remember Gulf stations. How about that?
Old and slow Murph telling the stories of the past here in the P1 broadcast.
That was for Bridget. That was when we used to take covered wagons and horses and buggies to Florida from Indiana, right?
Yeah. Did the horses drink the oil back then? Is that where the Gulf station came from?
Yes, the horses usually being my grandfather's Crown Vic. It did like the oil. It liked the gasoline too. I remember Texaco stations all over the place, and that's one you don't see anymore either. Of course, they're owned by Chevron now. But at any rate, Logan Edwards is pulled back up on the tailgate of Kenny Smith, watching the battle 5th, 6th, and 7th. A little bit further up the road, Sam Crow all over the back of Kendall Paul here. That's the battle for the 3rd spot. Ryan O'Donoghue has started to sod away from Jim Duda. He's at 31.233. His best lap 37.98. So they've slowed down a half a second now over 20 laps. Caleb, if we're keeping track of what tires mean here.
Yeah, just a little bit. What you always see here. Basically, any sort of stock car series, you always see the tire wear, and we typically see around the short tracks, it's typically around 2 seconds they lose in terms of pace here just over the course of an entire, tire's life. So they'll just get progressively slower as the stage goes on, and really you'll start to see those gaps start to, close in or get bigger based on how these guys have been wearing their tires. You see a lot of drivers it seems like Jim Duda is pushing quite a bit. Ryan O'Donoghue is definitely pushing. We'll see how they are. We're not even halfway through the stage. We'll see how they are by the time the stage number 1 ends and see if their pace is able to maintain there. But right now, we're watching Sam Crow currently all over the back of Kendall Paul. But right now, he's a little bit too far back to get alongside.
You are. Look at Sam Crow, how much quicker he is. We're on board Sam Crow in the middle and the exit of that corner. Kendall Paul sends the truck in on entry, but watch Sam just dissolve that advantage in the middle and beat him coming off. It's not going to be too much longer before Sam Crow is around Kendall Paul. Meanwhile, Kenny Smith and Logan Edwards, they're going after it for the 6th spot. Edwards kind of doing the same thing Sam is. He's easing into the corner. Not right there, but he's been easing into the corner and then beating you in the middle off. Edwards goes into the 6th spot. O'Donoghue continues to lead, and we did not talk really, Caleb, about the points, and I'm going to get those popped open here so that we can kind of touch on those.
Yeah. It's actually quite important we actually talk about points, well, because this is the final race of the chase here, or the regular season before the chase starts.
It is. Right now, Logan Edwards is the regular season leader. He is 35 up on Kendall Paul. Matt Sizzler is 3rd. Sizzler is not here. Ryan O'Donoghue 4th. Austin Hund 5th. Paul Witt is 6th. Those drivers, along with Sam Crow, The front 7, I would say are more or less safe, Caleb. Eighth is Justin Osterman, not here. He is 24 points to the good. David Dunwoody, 18 to the good. John Houchins, 13. Say Lewis Hayes needs 13 positions. Chuck Sweeting is 18 positions back. So really, you've got 5 drivers who are fighting for 3 spots. One of them, Justin Osterman, does not start this evening. And so, the point system is based on what, 43 entries, Caleb?
Yep, I believe it is.
So you get what, 22 points just for starting this race tonight. That's going to put, if say Lewis Hayes, let's see, 349 to 373, 34. If he can finish in the top 5, he puts himself in the playoff. And it's going to be close between Hayes and Houchins. There's a 13-point differential between those two. Chuck Sweeting's got a chance to have a crack at it. So keep an eye on those drivers. We're looking at Dunwoody, Houchins, Hayes, and Sweeting. Really, the four drivers here going for 3 playoff positions. The playoffs, of course, in the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series starts September the 9th, September the 11th. We're going to move that up a week. Caleb Brashear has a prior engagement that weekend, and so we will be unable to broadcast September the 18th. If you haven't already got your tickets, by the way, and you're going to be anywhere near the Chicagoland area, simgamingexpo.com. Go there, buy a ticket, see Caleb Brashear beat the mess out of me in a stadium. It'll be a whole heck of a lot of fun. September 18th through 20th, the Renaissance Convention Center in Schaumburg. Caleb, we're bringing Miss Natalie to that thing. We got to show her a good time.
You will indeed. It'll be a fun time as always. Really looking forward to it. But one thing we do need to pay attention is this battle just inside the top 10 between Jason Phillips, Dylan Grutzmacher, James Hodgson. These guys have been going at for the past couple laps. The 69 on the inside. Looks like he's able to clear. Does Jason Phillips have enough momentum to try to get back alongside? No, he doesn't. And he's actually going to allow, James Hodgson, if he is there now. He decided to blink a couple of times. They're going to make, I don't think they touched. It was very close there. But those two are going to go back to battle there. And they got Lewis Hayes. He's trying to get a good result here tonight to try to get inside the playoffs. And right now, he needs to get around these two if he wants to get in.
Yeah, there you go. James Hodgson, he's got, you're watching him. Jason Phillips, the outside. Hodgson moves himself into the top 10, and he's got Lewis Hayes right behind him in the Robert Turnbull Special. That's a driver that needs a good run. If he can put himself in the top 5, he's going to have a chance to have one of those playoff spots, Caleb.
Yeah, but unfortunately he drops a little bit further back.
Battle
to the
for
two in front of him.
Battle for 5th, by the way. Logan Edwards goes past Matt Wagner, so move the points leader up to the 5th spot. And we'd be remiss if we didn't point out that Jim Duda has reeled in Ryan O'Donoghue. They've now put David Dunwoody a lap down.
Well, he has reeled him in just a little bit, but Ryan O'Donoghue was quicker. I wonder if Jim Duda was actually lapping David Dunwoody this previous time by. Oh, no, but Ryan O'Donoghue was quicker last time around, just on pace alone. So maybe the lap traffic of David Dunwoody got in the way of Ryan O'Donoghue just a little bit, and Jim Duda was able to get through cleaner, perhaps. But we are about 20 laps to go in the stage here. It does seem like that gap is closing down just a little bit.
You know it is. Dunwoody is not involved there. They are some 2 seconds clear of Kendall Paul. Sam Crow. There's Kendall. Sam Crow has dropped a little bit more than a half second away from Kendall Paul. There's Sam. Fastest truck on the track right now, though, is this driver, The number 9 Team I5G machine, Logan Edwards, he motors along in the fifth position. Last time through, 2/10 quicker than Ryan O'Donoghue. That number 9 is coming.
He is indeed. He has 2 wins on the season, as we've already talked about many times, both on the road courses of San Diego and Lime Rock. He's been fairly close a lot of the times to get a win on the short track, but he's been yet to be able to do it this season at least. He has won at North Wilkesboro last season in 2025. However, that's his only short track win in the Truck Series, and he's been fairly close a number of times here.
You know, he has, but that's Logan Edwards. You see him in 5th. Matt Wagner's fallen a second and a half away in 6th, and he's got trouble coming from Kenny Smith in 7th. There's Kenneth Smith. Dylan Gretzmacher, he was around earlier, Caleb. He was involved in an accident. He's got fresher tires than most of his compatriots out there by virtue of having been in that accident. But look at Gretzmacher. He's up to 8th. Paul Witt is 9th. And the forward-facing 88, James Hodgson, well, he rounds out the top 10. Sean Roberts is 11th, and he is in a mess that involves Greg Evans. Evans still has damage on that truck. He started in the back, did not qualify. He was involved in an accident. He spent significant time under repair under that first caution. There is still significant damage to the front of that Dodge, and here he is about ready to go to 11th. And for Greg, I don't necessarily know that it's a big deal for him to gain positions. He's not involved in the points deal, Caleb, but it's important for him to get up to the front because that's more time that he can spend on pit road getting his truck fixed.
It is, and we know how much pace he is, and the fact that he's able to just claw away this many spots while having basically the entire end of his truck, front end of his truck, basically knocked off under that wreck. Oh, he's going to make a little bit of contact with that 33 there. Gets a long by there. Going into turn number 1, slots himself just inside. Well, that's going to put him in 11th, just outside of the top 10 here. We'll see if he's able to gain any more time in front over James Hodgson and Paul Witt. Those guys are still kind of getting a close battle together, as well as the guys right in front of those two, Kenneth Smith, Dylan Grutzmacher. Matt Wagner has dropped a little bit of time here, so those 3 have also been going at it over the past couple laps. Logan Edwards has also closed in on Sam Crow, and Kendall Paul is starting to introduce himself just a little bit closer. He is 2/10 quicker than both Ryan O'Donoghue and Jim Duda last time by. We might get a barn burner finish at the end of stage number 1 here.
I think Bridget might have gone up and smacked Ryan upside the head and told him we were calling him slow. He's pulled back out to a 1.2 second advantage over Jim Duda, 0.3 quicker that last time through. Logan Edwards has now disposed of David Dunwoody, so he'll be in direct contact with Sam Crow here. But for Edwards, it's just all about keeping on. We'll ride on board with Logan here for a little bit. He's got that huge cushion in the points, and for him, it's just about making it through this one, getting to Bristol with the points lead.
Yeah, it is. He has a points reason, He has 2 wins, which is pretty good on the season, given that we're 17 races in. But the reason he is in the lead, well, just because he's been very, very consistent here in the Truck Series. 9 top 5s on the season, 14 top 10s. Only 3 finishes outside of the top 10 here. He's been fairly good the entirety of this season, and right now he's shown why. He's been very, very patient with how he's been able to manage his truck, and right now with how he's been driving, how he's been able to save that stuff, he's one of the fastest trucks in the field on a really long run here.
Half a second quicker than Sam Crow the last time through, 0.3 quicker than the leader. He and Kendall Paul really are the 2 fastest trucks on the racetrack, and it's not going to be long before Logan Edwards gets past Sam Crow. Let's check in on Kendall Paul up the road, because he has closed down Jim Duda 3/10 to a half a second a lap. Go ahead, Caleb.
Well, there's one battle we need to check out, and that is basically Kenneth Smith on back. Greg Evans, with that damaged truck, has really been splitting the 88 and the 29 of Paul Witt. He's trying to force a 3-wide situation, and whoa, Paul Witt gets into the wall there. That's going to allow Greg Evans to try and make a run, as well as the 88. These guys are really, really going at it, and that's going to allow Sean Roberts to introduce himself into this battle here.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. Greg Evans moved Sean Roberts out of the way, and Roberts now has the deuce dead ahead. He might like to repay that favor. Evans looking to the inside of Kenny Smith. We are in the P1 airship, courtesy of Whiplash Sim Cams. If you're an iRacing broadcaster, photographer, you need those cams. It's Whiplash Sim Cams. You can have these great views, but Greg Evans, he's looking to put himself into the 9th spot. He'll get it done. 10 laps to go in the stage. The deuce, it's dented and it's damaged, but it's not done and it's not out. Greg Evans still moving forward despite the wrinkles you see in the right front of that Dodge.
That's going to allow Sean Roberts. Well, he had the momentum going through 1 and 2. Him and Paul Witt are going to go side by side down the back straightaway. Finally able to clear on the entry of 3 over Paul Witt. Paul Witt has actually dropped quite a few number of places since he started the race. He started in 7th. Right now, he finds himself at 12th, and he is currently dropping off the pace a little bit. And the 65 actually just nearly got into the back of David Dunway. That's actually going to allow Sean Roberts. Sean Roberts is actually one of the quickest drivers in the field right now. Currently lapping a little bit quicker than both Kenneth Smith and Paul Witt around him.
Yeah, there's Sean Roberts. He's going to dive it to the inside of Kenny Smith. They'll go door handle to door handle through turns 3 and 4. Roberts on the bottom. Smith going to try to use the momentum on the high side, but Roberts, a ton of grip. It seems on the bottom, even Steven into 1 and 2, but that bottom line should tell the tale as they go through turns 1 and 2. Move Sean Roberts up to 10th. Kenny Smith back to 11th, and he'll immediately fall into the clutches of Paul Witt, who is right there on the scene. Logan Edwards, meanwhile, has started to try Sam Crow. Kendall Paul has gotten past Jim Duda, and so move Kendall Paul to 2nd. And Jim Duda to 3rd. Kendall Paul is now starting to track down Ryan O'Donoghue about 1,500ths quicker that last time. Both both Sam Crow and Logan Edwards sideways getting off of turn 2 the last time through, Caleb.
Yeah, they are. Logan Edwards still one of the fastest trucks in the field. He is getting held up by that number 8 machine. He's going to go side by side. Going down into turn number 1, he sends it in deep. Gets a little bit squirrely on the entry there, but he's able to clear that number 8 machine of Sam Crow, and we'll see what kind of lap times he's able to do. I think he's a little bit too far away for the likes of Jim Duda, but he is one of the fastest trucks in the field over a long course run, and also Kendall Paul is still lapping quicker than the leader, Ryan O'Donoghue, at the moment.
You know, he does. We're still watching Logan Edwards and Sam Crow. Logan has now gotten through Sam Crow, so move Edwards to 4th, Crow to 5th. And let's check back in with this mess, because it's still a mess. You've got Chuck Sweeting and John Houchins. That group in front really is still all together. You see Chuck Sweeting will get through John Houchins. Maybe, maybe not. Caleb?
They got a little bit tight through the center of the corner, and that's going to allow John Houchins to get the momentum on the outside. They're going to still go side by side as they go into 3 and 4. John Houchins in that number 72 machine. 72 versus 75, but Chuck Sweeney finally able to clear Houchins off the exit of the corner here. It looks like he's going to set sail off from the distance as they try to get around the lap car of David Dunway back up to the front here. I said Kendall Paul was quicker than Ryan O'Donoghue, and he's got about 3 laps to try to get this move done.
Yeah, battle for the lead. Kendall Paul had been rapidly catching Ryan O'Donoghue. He has now arrived. He's got 3 laps to do it. Kendall on the bottom. Ryan O'Donoghue firmly drills that middle line. It's O'Donoghue with the better run down the straightaway, but Kendall Paul clearly the faster truck into turn number 3, Caleb. This is going to get interesting pretty quick. O'Donoghue high. Plays a little bit of carom pool with the PJ1. He'll have the drive off, but Kendall Paul is there.
Yeah, he is. You can see how he's using that apron to try to get that truck turned in as much as possible. But Ryan O'Donoghue, he's just holding the outside line and just trying to carry momentum going down the straightaways. Kendall Paul has a good momentum going off the bottom of the corner. They're going to go side by side going down the back straightaway with 2 to go left in the stage. He sends it in deep going to 3. And it looks like he's going to clear Ryan O'Donoghue. Well, maybe not. Ryan O'Donoghue's got the momentum on the high side to get back alongside that number 78 machine.
It will. It's Kendall Paul to the bottom, Ryan O'Donoghue to the top. Kendall Paul is going to make the pass on the last lap of the stage. Kendall Paul moves to the lead. O'Donoghue's second. And he needs to hang on here and score those stage points and not get the red mist and try to make the move. He goes way high. Turns 3 and 4, but it's going to be Kendall Paul coming to the line. He'll provisionally get the stage as we go back and watch the mess that's around James Hodgson, Matt Wagner, and Sean Roberts. Roberts is the 10th place truck. When he crosses, it will end the stage. What a drive from Greg Evans.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
He'll finish 7th with the damage, and it's Sean Roberts with the final position in the top 10. That will bring an end to Track Racer stage break number 1 in the Rogue Energy 175. Track Racer is, if you go to, Caleb, I can't talk. When you talk for a living and you can't find your words, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
No, it's really not. If you go to trackracer.com and you put in the web address just as it stands right there, you'll get 5% of your order that goes to the season-ending AMA prize pool. That's trackracer.com. Enter the web address just like it is in the chat, and you get 5% of your order in the AMA prize pool. And I'd be willing to bet every single one of these trucks is going to head down pit lane.
They will indeed. Kendall Paul leads him. Coming down the pit lane, Ryan O'Donoghue in the second place spot. Jim Duda going to be third. Going across pit lane, Greg Evans, you can see, shoots into his pit box. He's going to get most of that damage repaired as much as he can. He was, even with all that damage that we said, he is still one of the fastest trucks on the floor here tonight. But he's going to have to take some time to get all that damage repaired on that number 2 machine. They coming out pit lane, and Ryan O'Donoghue is actually going to beat Kendall Paul coming out pit lane here. Jim Duda in third, Logan Edwards in fourth, Sam Crow fifth, and Dylan Grutzmacher in sixth. James Hodgson, he got a giant jump over the rest of the field. He's going to be in seventh on that on the pit lane battle here. And then Paul Witt, Chuck Sweetie, and Kenneth Smith, he got a massive jump as well. Big losers out of this one. Obviously, Greg Evans trying to get that damage repaired. Matt Wagner also is still in his pit box. He now gets out. He finally leaves his pit box now. He's gonna lose quite a bit of time here, especially considering we knew he qualified well and he was strong in the first stage. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to make up all that time again.
Yeah, that could have been a situation where the driver needed a pit stop just as badly as the automobile. That does happen. Caleb, the fan vote has proven you correct. Hot Pockets by a 2-to-1 margin beat out the breakfast burrito for the favorite microwave, the superior microwave track food. We've got another poll going for the second stage as our research here with the AMA continues. What is your favorite rain delay board game? Monopoly, Sorry, Life, or Chutes and Ladders? Get your votes in. Matty Wagner says he had damage. Ryan
Green,
O'Donoghue
green,
has the lead. Barney has the green flag, and away we go for stage number 2.
Yeah, and Kendall Paul did not get a good restart there. Logan Edwards is going to actually shoot to his inside. Dylan Grutzmacher going to try the outside of Logan Edwards. He's going to set it really, really deep, and he's actually going to get that position over the number 9 I-5G driver, and Paul Witt to the outside of Logan Edwards right now as they're going to go side by side. Dylan Grutzmacher really, really quick off the restart. He's now looking to the outside of the 78 machine of Kendall Paul, stage number 1 winner, and Dylan Grutzmacher, despite being in that incident very early on with Greg Evans, well, right now he's currently battling for his second place position, gets really, really tight on exit, and unfortunately he's got to yield to Jim Duda, but right now they're going to go 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Logan Edwards, Kendall Paul, they touch. Logan Edwards gets that truck loose. He'll go all the way to the bottom of the speedway. Sam Crow, Kenneth Smith will stream past. Edwards going to fall back to 8th. Now 9th is James Hodgson is going to take advantage. And look at Chuck Sweeting. He might try to come through into 10th. There is a full-on free-for-all behind them. Greg Evans works on John Houchins. That's for 12th. They've got Say Lewis Hayes dead ahead. Donald Green has spun to the inside. He's made contact with the inside retaining wall. No caution, and we'll show you what happened to Donald Green. And I think this is a case of loose exit, Caleb?
Possibly. I'm currently still watching the battle between Logan Edwards and James Hodgson here, so those guys are still going side by side. But I believe with Donald Green, yeah, just possibly loose on exit. Yeah, you can see it right there. Rear end just steps out here.
Yep, we're going to call that loose off, and there's the impact with the inside wall. Tough break for Donald Green. He continues on. Meanwhile, here's what Caleb Brashear is watching. Logan Edwards to the bottom of the speedway. How about James Hodgson, the forward-facing 88 on the top? Hodgson holds him off for now, Caleb.
Yeah, he does. It seems like Logan Edwards is really, really struggling on the new set Goodyear rubber ever since the restart. He's dropped a number of positions, and right now he's just trying to hang on to the top 10 here in stage number 2. We'll see if he's able to possibly come back over the course of a long run like he did in stage number 1, but right now he is dropping like a fly right here.
You know, he may be back up toward the front. Dylan Grutzmacher continues to work all over the backside of Jim Duda. Grutzmacher really wants that second place spot.
Yeah, you can see he's trying a different line, just a little bit wide on entry, tighter on exit. He's trying that line over Jim Duda, and he's getting good runs down the straightaway, but just not enough to try to force a move here. You see how much he's backing up on the entry of 1 here. He's going to try a little bit different line, really, really tight on entry, and Jim Duda is going to cut him off, and that's going to actually allow Grutzmacher to try to get a run going into 3.
You know, both those trucks were slideways coming off of turn number 2, and now you see Grutzmacher dive to the bottom of Jim Duda. They'll race side by side going through turn number 4, but the top line for Duda reigns supreme, and they've got Paul Witt. He's managed to navigate that mess. Paul Witt currently rides in the 4th spot. It's interesting to note, David Dunwoody did not pit under that caution. Just he took the wave around and went to the back. I suspect that Dunwoody is saving tires. He's going to have to be careful because Sean Roberts went a lap down under the yellow flag to repair damage. He is back in the 20th spot, and so we'll keep an eye on Roberts. He was very quick at the end of the stage, but he had to repair some damage. Meanwhile, Greg Evans repaired another 42 seconds, and he holds the 12th spot behind his buddy, Say Lewis Hayes. And there you see him at the top of the screen. Hayes taps the wall, but Greg Evans is coming.
He is coming. He's trying to look to the inside of that number 43 machine. His teammate trying to make that inside line work. We saw him do it all over stage number 1, but unfortunately, Say Lewis Hayes has the momentum going down the front straightaway, able to clear. But Greg Evans is still going to try to force that inside and just try to save as much tire as he can and just try to get as much time as possible while saving tires. And right now he's battling his teammate to do it.
He is. That's Say Hey Lewis Hayes to the top. Greg Evans to the bottom. Plenty of racing room between the two. Eventually, you'd have to have the thought that Evans would prevail. But Say Hey Lewis Hayes, he's hanging tough there on the outside.
Yeah, he is, and Greg Evans finally able to clear that number 43 machine, move himself up another position, but I believe he's still got just a little bit, not as much damage, but just a little bit of damage on the front end of that number 2 machine. It seems like the majority of it is repaired, though, so possibly Greg Evans is going to be a little bit quicker over the course of a long run here at New Hampshire. However, he's still got quite a bit of time to try to gain up. He's about half a second back from Chuck Sweetie, who is having a good battle with Logan Edwards in the I-5G entry, James Hodgson in the 88, and they're a little bit further back from the other IndyCar open-wheel driver of Kenneth Smith, who was fairly quick early on in stage number 1, but kind of fell back towards the end. And right now, that's kind of where the rest of the pack is here.
It is. There's Kenny Smith. You see him ahead in the 7th spot. He's behind Sam Crow. Logan Edwards has dropped to 9th. He's racing with Chuck Sweeting. He's got James Hodgson, and really all Logan needs out of this race is a top 10 finish. He does not need to really overextend himself or put himself in danger. Just get a decent finish and get out of here. Head to Bristol. I'll tell you who's looking for a win, and that's the man up front, Ryan O'Donoghue. He's secured the lead. He's starting to inch away from Jim Duda, just as in the last stage. He's got Dylan Grutzmacher in 3rd. Grutzmacher had at one point been all over Duda, but his pace has started to falter. Paul Witt has really slowed down, and he's got Kendall Paul all over him for the 3rd spot. Meanwhile, the crowd tends to say that the board game of choice during a rain delay is Monopoly, and I can't believe that, Caleb. I would think we got to have some Game of Life fans in here. I mean, Bridget's in here. Certainly somebody like Shoots and Ladder. Come on.
We'll leave that up to everybody, but Kendall Paul currently looking to the inside of Paul Witt right in front. It looks like he's not able to quite clear him, but he should have the position as they go into 1. And yes, he does, and that might actually allow the number 8 of Sam Crow to try to get a position here on the exit corner. Paul Witt gets a little bit loose on exit. Sam Crow, he's going to play it patient, though, and possibly wait to pounce later in the run. Well, now he's going to pounce. Looks to the inside of that number 29 machine, but Paul Witt just able to have the momentum on the outside, able to hold on to that position just for now, though.
He is. Sam Crow, you're on board. He's going to try him one more time. You see him side by side through the corner. Sam Crow on the bottom. Paul Witt on the top. Can't quite get the move cleared, can Sam Crow. They head down into turn 3. He tried the slide job. Couldn't quite get it done on entry. Can he make it on exit? Not quite, Caleb. Not quite. David Dunwoody gives up on the 76 lap old tires. He has come to the pit lane. Sam Crow, he's going to drill the bottom line one more time. Can he make it stick on Paul Witt? He's still just barely not clear, Caleb. Now he's got it.
Yeah, a little bit of a slide job on the exit there to get the move done, but that is Sam Crow back inside the top 5, or back inside the top 5 here with just under halfway through, well, around halfway of the stage here, I believe. Lap 78, we got to get to 110, so he's moved himself up another position, and seems like he is fairly quick over a long run here. And right now, he is faster than both Dylan Grutzmacher and Kendall Paul right in front of him. And right now, Kendall Paul sends it to the apron on the number 69 machine. They're going to go side by side off the exit of the corner. Kendall Paul sent it really, really deep, but it looks like Grusmacher has a momentum on the high side to just keep the position for now. But this seemed like Kendall Paul, using that first line there, just able to carry the speed and momentum to get to try to get the position. Still side by side off the exit corner, but I believe that number 78 is going to clear him as they go into 3 and 4 here.
He is. Kendall Paul makes the move stick, but he slowed up so much. Dylan Grusmacher nearly got the run back to the inside. He gets himself loose, and that'll secure the position for Kendall Paul. Meanwhile, Kenneth Smith's going to have a try on Paul Witt down into turn 1. Can Smith make the move into the 6th spot and demote Witt to 7th? He sure can. Move Kenny Smith to 6th, Paul Witt to 7th. And now you've got Greg Evans doing battle with Logan Edwards here for the 8th spot.
8th spot. Well, Murph is struggling to talk here. I do want to point out that they both did get around James Hodgson, and it seems like James Hodgson has quite dropped off a little bit in the pace here, Murph. He's losing time to Chuck Sweetie, and right now he's losing a couple of spots right from him. Paul Witt is around.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Paul Witt goes around on the backstretch. He makes contact with the outside wall not once but twice. Now he's parked perpendicular to the racing line. Everybody's going to make it through, but Paul Witt around and bring out the caution, and here it is, loose off. He overcorrects it, and that's going to be a hard lick on the outside wall. Greg Evans going to take evasive action, so too James Hodgson. Chuck Sweeting gets through. Witt backs it in the wall, and then he does the smartest thing, Caleb. He stops.
He does, and just an unfortunate day. It seemed like he was on a bit of a comeback here. Did not have the greatest stage 1 earlier on, but right now it seemed like he had a good stage number 2, just around the 5th place position. And right now he's lost basically all that work for naught, and he is basically the last car in the lead lap. He's going to come down pit lane to try to get some damage repaired.
You know, he is, and Paul Witt had such a great run going. He was up in the top 5. That's all going to come to naught. Ryan O'Donohue circulates under the admin box caution flag. Witt, the only truck to take to the pit lane thus far, Caleb.
Yeah, he is, just to get the damage repaired. And what's going to be interesting is that, well, Sean Roberts is going to get the lucky dog. However, David Dunwoody should be in the lucky dog position if we do get another caution. And he is on the freshest tires out of anybody. So if we get another quick caution and David Dunwoody gets on the lead lap, this could be fairly interesting for that number 28 machine if we do get another caution in the stage here.
If we get another caution, and that's the situationship, right? If you get another caution, right? That's not always a given. David Dunwoody, right now, he had just stopped under the green flag to put himself a lap down. He had not stopped under the first one. He pipes in the chat. He says, "Harry, I need tires." We know you need tires. We know you need tires, David. You didn't stop the first time to get back on the lead lap, but he's got 7-lap tires. If there's a quickie yellow, it could get fairly interesting for him.
It could, and we've seen him do this multiple times for where he'll drive through the field over the course of a run, and well, it might just happen again if things if he's able to get another quickie here. We might see David Dunwoody do it again. He might even do it, while lap down. Pace truck is off. Ryan O'Donoghue's going to lead him. Jim Duda to his outside. And right now he gets a good jump, but so does Jim Duda. Kendall Paul gets a better jump than he did last time, and Dylan Grusmacher is going to slide into that 4th place position. Sam Crow and Kenneth Smith are going to go side by side for 5th.
Such a great shot right there from the blimp, Caleb. You can see all the different agendas. Who likes to charge the corner? Who likes to check up, roll the middle, and get a great exit? Look at how hard the 88 sends it on the inside. Look at how much better Sam Crow is on exit. And meanwhile, look at Jim Duda and Kendall Paul go at it for the second spot.
Yeah, we know Kendall Paul has a long-paced truck. He was very, very quick towards the end of stage number 1. So was the likes of both Greg Evans and Logan Edwards. Those guys are a little bit further back. But right now, Kendall Paul in that second place spot, or battling for the second place spot, this early in the stage, and we know he has a long-paced truck. He's basically going to try to get the lead as soon as he can here because he knows he is faster over a longer run than Ryan O'Donohue and the rest of the field here.
You know he is, but don't count out at all. Don't count out Sam Crow, Logan Edwards, Greg Evans. Those trucks are lurking. We are just now approaching halfway in this race, and I know it's a long one. Do want to thank everybody for joining in, tuning in. If you haven't already done it, make sure you hit the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel. Kendall Paul going for the lead to the inside of Ryan O'Donohue at lap 88 of 175.
Yeah, Kendall Paul looks to the inside, going to the 3. Sends it in deep on that first lane. Ryan O'Donohue making that third lane work. And right now, Kendall Paul might clear him on exit, but O'Donohue's got enough momentum to get a fender alongside going down the front straightaway. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, Logan Edwards able to finally get around Kenneth Smith. And Kenneth Smith sends Logan Edwards nearly into the wall of turn number 1. Logan Edwards goes really, really wide, but he's able to keep out of it.
Red miss. Don't hit him. Well, Logan backs off. I thought for sure he was going to get in the back of that 65. And now Greg Evans drops to the bottom, and Logan Edwards is going to have a chance to return the favor, Caleb.
He might indeed. Do want to point out Kendall Paul did get around Ryan O'Donohue for the lead while that was happening. So Kendall Paul gets the lead very early on in stage number 2. He's got just over 20 laps to get to the end of stage number 2 and get the win here. And basically, he has a lot less work to do. To do that, he doesn't have to climb back through the field over the long course run. But right now, he still has to kind of worry about Ryan O'Donohue for the moment. Right behind him, Jim Duda and Dylan Grutzmacher are going to go side by side or at least try to get side by side for that third place position. So is the teammates of Greg Evans and Sam Crow. Logan Edwards and Kenneth Smith had a little bit of contact going into 1. It seems like Logan trying to get that position set in stone, but Kenneth Smith is sending it really, really deep into 3. He is not letting him have it.
He's not, but he's not going to have much of a choice. Logan Edwards with the preferred line will go through into the 7th spot, move Kenny Smith back to 8th, and he is immediately going to have trouble in the form of Chuck Sweeting, who's come forward from the rear of the field, James Hodgson, and John Houchins right there. Donald Green has retired from this one, said it's a bad first race back, but this is a tough track. He's glad to be back in the series. Well, Donald, we're glad to have you back, and thank you so much for your compliments, and make sure you vote on what your favorite rain delay board game is. Not everybody can be a Monopoly player. Come on now, guys.
Not everybody can be a Monopoly player, but I'll tell you what, this is spicing up for this 4th place battle between the 69, the 2, and the 8. Greg Evans was able to get around his teammate Sam Crow, and right now he is looking to the inside of Grutzmacher, and Sam Crow hits the wall off of 2. That's going to allow Logan Edwards to close a little bit further up. But right now, Grutzmacher still on the rear bumper, on the rear bumper of Jim Duda, and that's going to allow Greg Evans to try to make a move not only for the 4th place spot, but possibly 3rd as well. Sam Crow's kind of lost the picture after hitting the wall off of 2, but Logan Edwards is also on the rear bumper of him. Greg Evans and Dylan Grutzmacher going to go side by side going down the back straightaway.
Mercy me, Sam Crow was awfully loose coming off of turn 2 a couple of laps ago. I thought for sure that truck was going around, but Sam keeps everything going. Meanwhile, Greg Evans, he drops to the inside of Dylan Grutzmacher, and that's for the 4th spot. We saw that truck 75 laps ago, backward, going down the front straightaway. The right front ripped completely off of it. The virtual crew has put that thing back together. He's gone to the inside of Grutzmacher now for the 4th spot. Can he quite make it? And as soon as he clears Dylan Grutzmacher, he needs to stay down there because he's got 3rd place Jim Duty. He may get 2 for the price of 1 here, Caleb.
He might indeed. And keep in mind, both you talk about Greg Evans, but Grutzmacher was also involved, admittedly with significantly less damage than Greg Evans, but both of those drivers were involved in that incident very, very early on in the race. Well, both of them are inside the top 5 right now. Those guys have really pulled off the comeback here at New Hampshire, and right now they are 2 of the fastest trucks on the grid at the moment, despite that incident earlier in the race.
You know, they have indeed, and Greg Evans now works to the inside of Jim Duda. Can he get up into the podium positions, and then what does he do from here? Does he play the rabbit? Does he get up there and mess with Kendall Paul, try to help his teammate Ryan O'Donoghue? Does he go on and try to win the race? We'll see. We've got another 78 laps to decide it. We're going to be here for another hour or so, Caleb. We've got plenty of time to find out. Kendall Paul, your leader. Ryan O'Donoghue, second. This has been an interesting time, and I'm still wondering about that strategy on David Dunwoody. I've got a feeling he's got something up his sleeve with having pitted for that one set of tires. He says, "Can I have some tires?" He's doing something funny about it. There is funny business afoot with that 28.
Caution's out.
Yellow is out. Say hey, Lewis Hayes. He's around. Jeremy Dunwoody also involved. And let's see what we've got with Say Hey Lewis Hayes, the Robert Turnbull special. He's in the high line, Caleb. He's up in lane 3. Loose exit. Car loose. Car loose. Around she goes. Jeremy Dunwoody with a sympathy spin. Jeremy Dunwoody hard into the inside wall. St. Louis Hayes didn't hit anything for that matter. But Jeremy Dunwoody has toasted his truck, and he's going to be in deep trouble. And, well, there's David Dunwoody. He's going to get his lap back. And if he so chooses, he can take some tires now, if he would like.
He could indeed. We do have a taker on pit road.
Ted Craven.
The old narc brain. Well, no. The old narc brain is coming down pit lane here.
Yeah, Logan Edwards. He's going to try the big brain move. He's got, in this stage, he's going to go to 110. So he's got, he's going to have about 8 laps to get to the front. David Dunwoody gets his lap back. This would be one where I'm guessing Logan is saying, okay, I'm going to stay out at the stage break, perhaps.
It could possibly be that for the old narc brain. Maybe he's trying a strategy of maybe try to take tires early on in stage number 3 if we get caution, and just hope it goes green in the end here. We have gotten fairly decent long green flag runs over the course of this race, so maybe he's going to gamble that in stage number 3 it won't be as much as a caution fest, and maybe if we do get a quick caution, take tires then. I'm not exactly sure with what strategy he's going to try here, but I think it's a little bit too late to try to get the stage win, even with how fresh his tires are. But you never know. You never know.
You never know. It's worth noting David Dunwoody drove through pit road, did not stop. So I do not know that the 28 has yet changed tires in this race. He is out there. He is out there now on the lead lap, tail end of the longest line, will be David Dunwoody. Meanwhile, Kendall Paul is getting ready to restart this race. He's going to have Ryan O'Donoghue to his outside. We're going to get the green flag with 9 laps to go in the stage. Can Ryan O'Donoghue reclaim the lead? He dominated the first stage, most of the second. Kendall Paul nabbed the lead late. Kendall Paul runs off into the lead into turn 1. And O'Donoghue now faces a challenge from Greg Evans for second.
He does, and immediately Greg Evans able to clear his teammate off the bottom of the corner. They're going to go side by side for the 4th place spot between Jim Duda and Dylan Grusmacher. Chuck Sweetie and Sam Crow are also going to go side by side through 3 and 4. But right now, Kendall Paul trying to break away from the deuce here. Meanwhile, they're going to go side by side all the way back. And we got a 3-wide battle all the way back. That's the old Narc brain on that fresh head Goodyear rubber, trying to go to the inside of the 20 of Jason Phillips and Paul Winton on 29 machine on the fresh set of tires. He is absolutely flying, but it might be too little too late in the stage here with just under 10 to go here.
Matt Wagner drove that truck up 2 lanes to get out of Logan Edwards' way. He powers to the bottom. He gets it 3 wide on Sean Roberts and John Houchins, and now he's already made it back to the top 10. Here he is on James Hodgson. Hodgson trying to get to the bottom to block him off. Can't do it. Logan Edwards is making up spots in wholesale fashion. Now remember, he was only like in the 8th position when he pitted. Like he pitted from 7th or 8th spot. So he's already back to nearly where he was before he took those tires. Even if he stops at the stage, great gamble from Logan Edwards. To the bottom of Kenny Smith he goes. Kendall Paul, Greg Evans, Ryan O'Donoghue the lead, but the action is right here around the 9th spot with the i5G's truck on fresh tires, past Kenny Smith. Now he's pulled up to Sam Crow on the apron, Caleb.
Yeah, we got a spinner in the background. I believe they were able to save it there. Not able to make out who it was just yet.
Paul Witt.
It looks like it was Paul Witt.
Paul
having
Witt.
Another half spin off of turn number 2, but able to keep going, no cautions out. But right now, Greg Evans looks to the inside of Kendall Paul. He's got a fender going through 1. It looks like he might be, there's a bit of contact between the two in the center of the corner. Greg Evans trying to get the lead here, going down the back straightaway.
Greg Evans wearing out the back tailgate of Kendall Paul. Logan Edwards continues to charge. He's now through Chuck Sweeting, and he's looking on Jim Duda. He'll make the pass on Jim Duda, but we're going to stick with the battle for the lead, and you can see Edwards coming in the background. He's made it up to 5th, so the gamble paid off. He's going to finish higher. He's going to finish higher than he was before that stop. Around Dylan Grutzmacher, Edwards the 4th. Greg Evans working over Kendall Paul for the lead.
He is, but Kendall Paul able to put on a good defense over the deuce. They're going to go 3 to go at the line. Greg Evans trying to cut back off the exit of the corner, not able to quite get alongside, going down the front straightaway. Logan Edwards lurking in the background of the number 14 of Ryan O'Donoghue. He's going to actually cut back on the inside of the number 14 machine, clear him off the center of the corner. He might be able to put a battle for the lead of the stage win here on both Kendall Paul and the deuce of Greg Evans. He's going to try the outside line. Just like Schechter, I believe it was actually at New Hampshire where that quote happened. And just like that, Logan Edwards slots himself into the 2nd place spot, right on the rear bumper of Kendall Paul. He's going to try the outside line again. And just like that, Logan Edwards, the gamble has paid off. He's still alongside Kendall Paul, but I believe he's going to clear him going into the entry of 3 with just under, as they come, or just over 1 lap to go in the stage. And Logan Edwards able to get the lead with 1 to go as they get the white flag of the stage here.
Logan Edwards, with 1 lap to go in the stage, drove it from 17th to the lead, and Kendall Paul. Greg Evans going to resume their battle, but it's going to be for the 2nd spot. Ryan O'Donoghue has fallen pretty hard off the pace, some 0.6 of a second slower than leader Logan Edwards. And Edwards, he's back to pace down now. You got to wonder maybe if he's trying to save some tire in that i5G truck. If he's going to come across the line, he should be your stage winner. There's a battle for 10th spot. Kenny Smith, James Hodgson.
All right, man. Caution
It's
is
going
out.
to be won
Caution is out.
by Kenny Smith. James Hodgson will run 10th in the stage. Caution is out. And that is the end of Blackmagic Studios stage break number 2. Logan Edwards is your winner. Blackmagic Studios are a small operation dedicated to high quality iRacing paints and wraps for any car. You can visit them on Discord or Facebook for your next high quality iRacing paint. When you see me in the number 69 Dallara IR18, it is in a Blackmagic Studios designed machine. We'd also like to thank Archway Industrial Coatings for their support of the series. Archway Industrial Coatings are a St. Louis-based floor coating company that have been getting the job done for years. Their epoxy and urethane flooring solutions withstand the test of time, all while meeting their customers' installation schedules and budgets. They're committed to doing the highest quality work at the lowest possible cost every time, whether you're looking for industrial, commercial, restaurant, retail, flooring, or concrete repair at home. You found the perfect partner to get the job done now. Get ready to floor it with Archway. The poll is over. Seems as though the fans in the stands want to play Monopoly during rain delays. We got one vote for Chutes and Ladders. I'm guessing that was probably David Dunwoody. Logan stays out. Everybody else is going to pit. We kind of figured that was coming, Caleb. You want to have one set on the wall in case there's a yellow light at the end. What do you think the poll for stage number 3 should be?
You're the poll maker here, Murph.
Well, I've asked 2. Now it's your turn. Surely you've got.
I didn't know we were taking turns.
Surely you've got something you want to ask. Surely there's something.
Surely there is, but I just can't think of anything at the moment. Greg Evans was able to beat out Kendall Paul off of pit road. Ryan O'Donohue just behind them. Dylan Grutzmacher is going to follow Ryan O'Donohue, and that's going to be your top 5 coming to the restart here. A little bit further back, it's going to be Jim Duda, Sam Crow, Kenneth Smith, James Hodgson, John Houchins. Sean Roberts has gained quite a few positions under that pit cycle. And your big losers here, looks like it's going to be Chuck Sweetie. He's going to lose quite a number of positions, as well as Matt Wagner again. He's going to lose quite a number of positions off of pit road here. So it seems to be fairly in line as the way they came down to end stage number 2.
They are. Wagner and Hayes repaired damage. Dunwoody said that he put on tires. Bridget wants to know if it's bone-in or boneless chicken wings. You can't even call boneless a chicken wing. It's a giant nugget. It's a giant soggy nugget. Let's not do giant soggy nuggies. Was that your first set, Dunwoody? Don't wreck replying, but I'm fairly certain that was David Dunwoody's first set of tires. So he's got 3 on the wall here for the final stretch. Pace car is off. Logan Edwards is your leader, and away he goes. Remember, 13-lap-old shoes on that number 9 machine, but he does break away in the lead, and immediately Greg Evans dives to the inside, but Edwards cuts him off, headed into turn 1. He'll hold the lead for at least one turn, and Dylan Grutzmacher all the way on the apron.
Yeah, all the way on the apron indeed. He's going to try to look to the inside at Jim Duda. Jim Duda gets into the rear bumper of Kendall Paul, and you can immediately see the number 9 machine of Logan Edwards kind of falling off the pace a little bit because of that older set of shoes. Pitting late in stage number 2. He's going to drop already a couple positions just on the first lap of the restart here. And right now, right behind him, Kendall Paul also losing a couple of positions here. He's actually going to go side by side with Jim Duda off the bottom of the corner here. Going to pitch him to the outside. Jim Duda goes really, really wide. That might allow Dylan Grutzmacher to try to make a move on the 78 machine and the 16 machine. But right now, Jim Duda has got the momentum to try to get around the outside of the old Narc brain. And he's able to get the move done. Kendall Paul is looking to follow suit.
Bridget and I are going to have a disagreement over chicken wings here in a minute. Meanwhile, Logan Edwards has fallen to the back like a rock. Those old tires are not standing him in good stead. Meanwhile, now that David Dunwoody has got new tires on his number 28, he's made it up to the 13th spot. And as I surmise, that's the first time he's changed tires in this race, Caleb. And so he's got a number of fresh sets on the wall. Ryan O'Donoghue has made it back to the back of Greg Evans. They're going to go at it one more time for the lead here.
They will indeed. Greg Evans, of course, their last winner out at Richmond here, getting win number 3. He also won at North Wilkesboro as well, so he has 2 short track wins already on the Truck Series schedule. And in the one time we have raced here at New Hampshire in the AMA Truck Series, which was last year in 2025, well, he was the winner in that race as well. So Greg Evans really kind of knows his short tracks. As we said, he's very good with the tires in the Grand National Series. He's obviously won many times in that series alone, the all-time wins leader in that. And seems like he's going to add another win to his AMA total. But right now, he's got his teammate Ryan O'Donoghue, who is trying to battle for the championship lead of the regular season, in second place right behind him.
It is. Ryan O'Donoghue would love to have a win here at New Hampshire. It's his home track. It is, he's needing a win for the points. Greg Evans will pull over and let him go. And we've seen Greg Evans do this any number of times. He'll let you go knowing he's going to come back and get you later.
I mean, we've seen that so many times for Greg Evans in terms of him just, falling back in the field early on, and then, over the course of the race, it's like the Jaws theme. Do want to point out James Hodgson has came down pit lane. Don't know what for. I believe he actually just spun out. No, he pitted naturally. Possibly a mechanical area because he stopped very early in his pit box, but James Hodgson has come down pit road now. Don't know what for exactly, but it's he's going to lose out a lap here in stage number 3. Ryan O'Donoghue shoots out to a massive lead. Greg Evans kind of falling back to Kendall Paul a little bit, but we all know it's just a matter of time before before he is back up towards the front. Behind all this, though, Sam Crow is going to look to the inside of Kenneth Smith. They're going to go side by side as they go into 3 here. Sam Crow goes really, really deep off the center of the corner. Uses a little bit of contact there and able to clear him off the exit. And that might allow both John Houchitz and Jason Phillips to gain a little bit on the duo in front.
Well, and we've got Dylan Grutzmacher up on the screen because he is sending it super deep into the corner on Jim Duda. He's taking that truck all the way down to the apron. Not just the inside line. He's got all 4 wheels below the white line like we used to see at Indianapolis in the late 80s and early 90s with the cars driving on the apron. And that's what he's doing. Thankfully, somebody with some common sense has chimed in and voted for not giant soggy chicky nuggies. As Dylan Grutzmacher continues to battle with Jim Duda. Duda's not running a high lane. That's Grutzmacher on the apron.
Yeah, Grutzmacher trying to get that truck turned in. Even now, he's trying to use his left side tires to try to get that truck turned in on the apron. Trying to take the most out, and he's actually going to he's blinking out while having a side-by-side battle. That is the last thing you ever want if you're Jim Duda. But looks like Grutzmacher using all of the apron now, able to get the pass done, and looks like he's going to go on the back of Kendall Paul, possibly going into turn number 3.
We are. I apologize. I'm trying to type and my knuckle keeps hitting the shortcut for Windows Copilot. So I need to watch my typing skills here, Caleb. Watching Dylan Grutzmacher, and that's a unique line. As much as it was unique watching Logan Edwards run the high side, watching Grutzmacher hook the bottom like that was pretty neat. It's also worth noting Ryan O'Donoghue has pulled out to a massive lead. Second and a half over Greg Evans. We've got 47 laps to go. Is it finally going to be Ryan O'Donoghue's night, Caleb?
It might be. You know, Ryan O'Donoghue, last time out at New Hampshire last year, did lead the most laps. He led 83 laps. Unfortunately, he lost out in the end there, both to Kendall Paul and Greg Evans at the end of the race here. But, you know, we know he has the pace right now, but, you know, how long until Greg Evans finally is able to pounce and able to close that gap down just a little bit? They still got, my math serves me right, 45 laps to go in the race next time around. So he's still got a long ways to go in the stage. But right now it seems like he's got a fairly quick pace, basically equaling his teammate, also equaling Kendall Paul right behind. Dylan Grutzmacher is actually the fastest of the top 5 at the moment. But does Dylan Grutzmacher, is he able to have pace and able to hold on to his tires for the rest of the race?
Well, and that's just it. Grutzmacher is driving that truck so hard on corner entry, Caleb, that it's difficult to see how he's going to make those tires last for another 45 circuits. Not only is he driving hard on entry, he's using a lot of what appears to be he's using a lot of rear brake to get that truck turned, and he's driving it on the flat, and that would mean to me he's burning up the right front too.
Yeah, in order to get it turned down there, obviously, you know, the flat part of the track, you're going to use a lot more steering angle than you would if you were on the banking. But right now, he's using that apron to his advantage to try to get it turned in. But right now, trying to get around Kendall Paul. This time, he's going to try a wide entry on the corner, cut it back down hard. He's not able to get quite the run on Kendall Paul, and right now, it seems like Kendall is finally able to pull away on that number 69 machine. And it looks like Kendall's actually closed up quite a bit on the deuce here.
You know, he has. Kendall Paul looking all over the back of Greg Evans as Ryan O'Donoghue continues to lead by a second and a half. We're working the final stage here at New Hampshire for the Track Racer 175. Do want to thank everybody for tuning in, joining in. If you haven't already done it, make sure you hit the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel so that you can get in all the iRacing action. Big slide from Greg Evans off of 2, and that's going to open the door for Kendall Paul into turn 3. Move Kendall Paul to second. But Greg Evans is going to come right back in, center off. See, you can send it in there, Ryan, or send it in there, Caleb, but it doesn't always work, does it?
No, it doesn't, and now we're going to see an inverse of what we saw in the last corner. Greg Evans sends it really deep on the 78 driver, kind of forces his way through, and that's going to allow the 69 to Dylan Grutzmacher to get through into the top 3 position, into a podium place here. Kendall Paul trying to get back at it, and Dylan Grutzmacher looks like he locked up the front tires there on the entry, but still able to get it turned in. And right now, the Deuce kind of set his sails off, set his sights off in the distance over the 2 right behind him. Kendall Paul now is going to try the apron. He's going to try the slide job on the 69 machine. But Dylan Grutzmacher comes back on the bottom. He's got the run and momentum going down the back straightaway here. Right now, these two are kind of throwing haymakers at each other at the moment. A little bit red mist here in stage number 3 here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
You know it is. Grutzmacher gets through. Kendall Paul will fall back to 4th. And I think that might be a matter of Kendall Paul saying, look, I'll let you go there, buddy. I'll see you in a little while. Meanwhile, Sam Crow is now caught the back of Jim Duda for the 5th spot. Sam Crow would like nothing more than a top 5 run. He's been snake bit, Caleb.
He has. Trying to look on the back of Jim Dunwoody, or Jim Duda, not Jim Dunwoody, Jim Duda. And right now, those guys have kind of been equally in lap times ever since the drop. Of the stage 3 restart here. They've been kind of equally in lap times, within a couple hundreds of each other, lap after lap. So those guys are kind of equally in pace here. Do want to point out we got quite a fierce battle. Basically, from Matt Wagner on back in
we got a fierce battle for second. Grutzmacher dives all the way in on the rear bumper of Greg Evans. Dylan Grutzmacher is hungry and he wants the lead, and he is coming.
He is. Looks to the inside, going down the back straightaway, sends it in deep onto the apron, as we've seen him do many times in stage number 3. He might actually get the spot here coming off the exit of the corner. Gets a little bit loose on exit. Almost a repeat of what happened in stage number 1 with these two, with the incident that both got him damaged in the first stage here.
Yeah, that was Donald Green that got loose off the top and came down, got in Evans, and then they squeezed Grutzmacher up into the wall. But Dylan Grutzmacher racing Greg Evans hard, and you know who loves this? Ryan O'Donohue.
Because he does.
Because those two are catching him, yes, but they're also using up their stuff while they're doing it. Meanwhile, O'Donohue is catching James Hodgson. That would put Hodgson a lap down. Don't know what happened to James, but he is falling into the clutches of Ryan O'Donohue as Grutzmacher makes it past Greg Evans. Move Dylan Grutzmacher in the 69 to second, and he is going to give chase to Ryan O'Donohue. We've got 35 to go. This time by, can Ryan O'Donohue hang on at home and score a win at New Hampshire, or is it going to be Dylan Grutzmacher, Greg Evans, Kendall Paul, or somebody else? Golly, Greg Evans darn near drove. I mean, he checked up just in time. The philosophies with which these guys are driving these corners is so fascinating to me, Caleb. They're all a little bit different, and they all somehow avoid each other.
Yeah, it's a case there. You can see Kendall Paul is now trying to do the Grutzmacher line of basically full send on the apron in 3 and 4. A little bit different this time, though. He's going to try to just follow Greg Evans through 1 and 2. But right now, Grutzmacher seems to be the fastest truck on circuit. Looks to the inside of Ryan O'Donohue going for the lead. Goes to the apron. He might clear him off the center of the corner, and he does. Dylan Grutzmacher to the lead of this race.
He does, but Ryan O'Donohue got a great...
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Greg Evans
is out.
Greg Evans around on the front straightaway, and he has towed that machine. He's battling with Kendall Paul for the 3rd spot. Evans puts it on the flat. We have not seen him do that for most of the day. And I don't know that either one did anything wrong. 2 trucks came together where there was room for one. Kendall Paul was there. Evans was coming up, but Kendall didn't exactly give him a lot of room either. Either way, hard impacts for the Deuce. He is going to be on pit road, and that's going to be likely the night over for Greg Evans. Everybody is now going to come down to pit lane. Logan Edwards will go back on equal footing with the rest of the field in terms of tires, and we'll get a restart with 30 laps to go here at New Hampshire. We're under the admin box caution flag. If you're a race controller, run a lot of hosted sessions, a league admin, you need one of those, go over to adminbox.com. Tell them Murph sent you. Fish will get you a good deal. That's race control at the touch of a button. Adminbox with 2 X's.com. I just now noticed this, and you can flay me later. You're supposed to notice these things, Caleb. I had the IndyCar Monday Night Open bug up the entire time during the broadcast. Oh, my goodness sakes. I'm good for one mistake a week.
Only one? Only one mistake a week. But right now, Dylan Grutzmacher deciding to stay out on track here. Deciding to save that last set of tires if we get a late stage caution. It worked for Logan Edwards. However, the only difference is everybody's going to have fresher tires at the end here than what Logan Edwards had compared to everybody else at the end of stage number 2. Grutzmacher going to gamble possibly with a late stage caution or a late caution at the end. Take that final set of rubber here. Yeah, right now.
The difference with Edwards, though, was like 35 or 40 laps. With Grutzmacher, even if it, and say Lewis Hayes is staying out too, even if it plays to the maximum of their advantage, they're only going to have about a 10 or about a 20 lap tire advantage. I don't know that that's enough. Grutzmacher with the lead. He's going to have Ryan O'Donoghue line up behind him. Green flag is out. Barney throws it in the air. Grutzmacher with a great jump. Ryan O'Donoghue already to the bottom side to say, hey, Lewis Hayes. And Hayes is going to be the jam car on that top line. Jim Duda gets through. Kendall Paul's going to go through. Sam Crow is looking to get through. Kenny Smith is going through. But Ryan O'Donoghue now already around Grutzmacher. And he said, all right, now he wants Grutzmacher to hold up Jim Duda and Kendall Paul.
Yeah, he does. Jim Duda trying to work the outside of Grutzmacher right now. A little bit further back, we got 3 wide inside between David Dunwoody. I believe that's Paul Witt and John Houchins. They're going to go 3 wide through 1 and 2. The old Narc Ring lurks in the background right in front of them. Sean Roberts, big checkup from Sean Roberts right in front of him. That's going to allow Logan Edwards and David Dunwoody to try to go to the bottom. But David Dunwoody going to the apron here.
They're 4
wide with Say Lewis Hayes. Paul Witt and David Dunwoody able to clear Say Lewis Hayes. Sean Roberts loses 2 spots there. This is getting very, very dicey towards the back of the field here.
Whoa,
and David Dunwoody's around.
Dunwoody hard in the inside wall. He's going to get it righted. Is it going to trigger a yellow?
It does not.
It does not. We'll get back to that battle because Logan Edwards now goes around the outside of John Houchins. Move Logan Edwards back into the 10 spot, and he'll immediately draw a bead on Sean Roberts and Paul Witt. So Logan Edwards, he dropped as far back as 15th on those old tires, and now he's got to try to come back to the front and get himself a good finish here. He's got the 33 and the 29 side by side in front of him, and it might be a good spot just to cool his heels and kind of save his stuff. Roberts and Witt leaning on each other through 3 and 4. Logan Edwards with the best seat in the house.
They are indeed. Sean Roberts gets a little bit wide on entry, kind of forces Paul Witt up into that 4th lane there. They're still going to go side by side down the back straightaway, and it seems as though Dylan Grutzmacher kind of holding him up just a little bit, allow the rest of the field to catch up on that older set of Goodyear rubber. They might go 3. Well, I thought they were going to go 3 wide off the exit corner. They're not going to. Sean Roberts is going to yield to Paul Witt to try to get around that 69 machine on the outside. Grutzmacher using that apron as he's been using basically the entirety of stage number 3. But right now, Sean Roberts not able to clear Grutzmacher. Paul Witt was able to. Now he finally is able to. And Paul Witt and Sean Roberts might go to battle again here going into turn number 1. Now Logan Edwards is going to try to get around that 69 machine, and he does. John Houchins is going to follow suit.
Houchins to the outside. Meanwhile, Sean Roberts and Paul Witt, they're going to make contact. Logan Edwards dives to the bottom. Houchins and James Hodgson hard in. hard
man,
contact
caution is out.
for
Caution is
Houchins, or excuse me, for Hodgson rather. Caution is out. My goodness, it is once again, Caleb, rough when you make your living talking and you can't talk. That was bad news for Sean Roberts and Paul Witt. And let's have a look at exactly what's happened. And poor James Hodgson, just a victim of circumstance. There's the contact. Logan Edwards is going to dive low. And then here's Houchins and Hodgson. You've got Mark Schofield gets through. Unfortunately, James Hodgson does not. The forward-facing 88 takes a spin. And so we are under the yellow light, 153 of 175 complete. Now, that is just what Say Hey Lewis Hayes and Dylan Grutzmacher wanted, was the caution, and they wanted it now. Grutzmacher is certainly going to be on pit lane. Lewis Hayes is on the pit lane, so is Matty Wagner and David Dunwoody. We know Dunwoody has tires to burn because he never changed them until the last stage. So we know that Dunwoody's got a set in there. But if you've got a set of tires and you're not up front, now's the time, Caleb. Now's the time.
It is indeed. About six drivers-ish going to have fresh set of tires. This is going to be interesting come the end of the race. And we haven't really paid attention. We really didn't pay attention to basically anybody from Sam Crow up that entire stage. So we didn't really see what the gaps were, who had the pace early on in the restart, and who was kind of falling back a little bit. But this is going to be interesting because a lot of the field obviously going to have a fresher set of Goodyear rubber, but the lap difference is not going to be as big.
I'm interested to see how this is going to shake out. O'Donoghue's had the measure of pretty much everybody except Greg Evans and Kendall Paul. Evans out of the race. Kendall Paul's been mired in a hard battle with Jim Duda, among others.
Green flag,
the green flag is out. Kendall Paul does not get a good restart, and he is going to have to work his way back around Jim Duda now into that second spot. And I'm interested to see, again, how this is going to shake out. I'm also interested to see how far Dylan Grutzmacher can climb up this field. The tire differential is only 10 laps, but we've seen 10 laps be huge here. Because Kendall Paul goes to the inside of Jim Duda and makes it into the second spot, and now he's got clear track between himself and Ryan O'Donoghue. Duda's working back to the outside, though, and Ryan O'Donoghue looks up in the rearview mirror and says, "Boys, battle away."
He is, and do want to shout out that Kenneth Smith in that fourth place spot gained quite a few numbered positions already, getting back inside the top 5. We really haven't seen him since the first stage here, being inside the top 5 here. But right now, he's looking on the back of both Jim Duda and Kendall Paul. And right now, Dylan Grutzmacher already lurking in that 7th place spot, looking to the inside of Paul Witt.
Yeah,
make it 6, basically.
Yeah, he's coming now. The difference though is for Grutzmacher. Yes, he's got the tire differential. Yes, he's faster, but he is not so much faster as Logan Edwards was when we saw him drive to the front. Right, Logan Edwards had a 30 lap to 40 lap tire differential. Grutzmacher has 10. Right, so he's going to be quicker, but it's not going to be all that much quicker. Meanwhile, I'd like to point out David Dunwoody also stopped, bolted on fresh tires. So did Paul Witt, Say Hey Lewis Hayes, James Hodgson, and John Houchins. Say Lewis Hayes has made it back up to 10th, and so that's what he needs to do. He's doing battle back here with Matt Schofield. And there he is. So the Robert Turnbull special is coming forward. So too is Matty Wagner.
Wags in the Crown Royal machine.
Yeah, he gets into the top 5 here. He might need him. A little shooter. Logan Edwards is side by side with Jason Phillips, and there's Logan. But at the front of the field, Kendall Paul has now caught Ryan O'Donoghue.
He has indeed, and right behind well, he's going to shoot it to the inside of that 14 machine. Right behind him, Grutzmacher and Jim Duda are going to go side by side as well. Grutzmacher gets a little bit loose off the exit of the corner, and it's only a matter of time before he's able to pounce on the 78 and the 14 here with just under 15 laps to go in the stage. You can see how much Grutzmacher is really pushing that truck. He's getting really loose on the exits here on both ends of the track, and right now he's got the best side in the house. Kendall Paul, Ryan O'Donoghue going to go side by side as they come off of 4.
Kendall Paul looked off the exit of turn number 4, couldn't quite make it work. Now he's going to go to the inside at turn number 1 and 2. But look at Dylan Grutzmacher. He sends it from the next zip code. Grutzmacher now in 3rd, and he's going to be hunting the lead. Kendall Paul on the bottom. He's got Grutzmacher behind him. Ryan O'Donoghue working about lane 3. Now Grutzmacher is going to make it 3 wide at the exit of turn number 4.
He's going to make it 3 wide, but he's actually able to clear Kendall Paul off the bottom of the corner. He's going to look to the inside, but Kendall Paul sent it really deep on Grutzmacher. Tried to make the move work. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. Now Grutzmacher looking to the inside of the lead here as they go into turn number 3. Ryan O'Donoghue on the outside. But I think it's only a matter of time. And Grutzmacher able to get the lead. Coming off turn number 4, Ryan O'Donoghue slots back into 2nd. Kendall Paul in 3rd.
If you're Ryan O'Donoghue, you got to worry about points. You got to remember big picture. Grutzmacher is not a part of the chase for the championship, but you need the points. Ryan O'Donoghue has dominated this race, but he may be in a situation where he loses out to tires late. Dylan Grutzmacher is your leader. Ryan O'Donoghue 2nd. We'll call Kendall Paul in 3rd, and Kendall Paul now all over the back of Ryan O'Donoghue for that 2nd spot.
And meanwhile, while this is happening, right behind, just inside the top 5, Kenneth Smith and Sam Crow were leaning on each other going through 3 and 4. Looks like they got Logan Edwards also throwing his hat into the mix here, as well as Matty Wags right behind those two. This could be an intense battle just inside the top 5 here, with just coming to 10 laps to go at the line.
See, I don't see Logan Edwards throwing his hat for any reason. I think Logan Edwards would just nonchalantly enter the room and say hello. But that's not going to work out because he is currently under fire from Matty Wagner. Wags gets through, and now Chuck Sweeting is going to look at the back of that number 9 truck. He won the 2nd stage on fresh tires, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the night for Logan Edwards. And how about Say Lewis Hayes? He's made it up to 10th. He's on fresh rubber. He's going to move to the outside of Chuck Sweeting there, and that's going to be for the 9th spot.
It is Say Lewis Hayes trying to get the outside line to work, and he's able to make it work around Chuck Sweeting with the fresher set of Goodyear rubber. Now he's going to try to look on the old narc brain. Meanwhile, right in front of him, Matty Wags in the Crown Royal Special trying to look up the inside of the 8 of Sam Crow.
Who says New Hampshire can't be exciting? We've had great racing all over this course for the last couple hours. Dylan Grutzmacher and Kendall Paul have now passed Ryan O'Donoghue. Jim Duda is closing on O'Donoghue, although I think that's more a factor of O'Donoghue having been racing hard with Paul and Grutzmacher. Meanwhile, there's a lot of cars that want to get in the top 5. It's led by Kenny Smith. He's got Sam Crow, Matt Wagner, Logan Edwards, and Say Lewis Hayes right with him. Crow and Hayes, they need good points finishes. Wagner, Smith, they're racing for a trophy. Logan Edwards is praying nobody hits him. Sahi Lewis Hayes needs a top 5. There's all sorts of differing agendas within this group of 5 cars too, Ryan, Caleb.
It is. Wag's still trying to make that bottom work. Even with the pressure set rubber, he's struggling to get around the number 8 machine, and that's introduced Logan Edwards again to Sam Crow's rear bumper, and Logan Edwards trying to cut back off the exit of the corner. They're going to go side by side down the front straightaway.
If anybody out there is watching this that may be newer to iRacing or wonders how you make a pass, watch what Logan Edwards just did. He backed the truck up, backed up the entry going in, drove a high entry, nailed the gas early, drove it off the bottom, drove alongside of Sam Crow, made the pass stick. And now he's picked up an important spot. Moved Logan Edwards to 7th, Wags to 6th, and Kenny Smith doggedly holding on to that 5th place spot. Meanwhile, Ryan O'Donoghue, he's got Jim Duda all over him now for 3rd.
Duda trying to make the inside work. And they're still gonna go side by side off the exit corner. These guys have been kind of going at it for the past 2 laps. Obviously, with 5 laps to go for the final step on the podium, Jim Duda, he's kind of been lurking in the mirror the entire race of Ryan O'Donoghue, but not able to quite get the move. This has really been the only opportunity he's had besides the restarts to try to get around him. He has the inside line, but O'Donoghue, he's just able to hold the outside with the outside momentum.
He is. Ryan O'Donoghue to the top side. He's got Jim Duda on the bottom. Can Ryan O'Donoghue hold on to that 3rd place spot? He does for right now, but Jim Duda sends it. He sent it hard. As a matter of fact, he sent it so hard, Ryan O'Donoghue had to check up to avoid getting into Jim Duda. That actually played to Duda's advantage. O'Donoghue back in front now, headed into turn number 1. He holds it a little bit tighter into turn 1 on entry that time. Duda again on the bottom, but O'Donoghue, the superior run on the top. He's only got to keep doing that for 3 more laps this next time by. My goodness. I can't count. I can't talk. You need to send me to the old driver's home. I think I'm done.
The old retirement home for Mark Murphy. As we get 2 to go in the race here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Ryan O'Donoghue trying to hold on to 3rd. Jim Duda trying to get that final step of the podium. And Jim Duda really loose off the exit of the corner.
That'll seal the deal for Ryan O'Donoghue in 3rd. And, well, it's time to give the flowers to this man. Dylan Grutzmacher is going to come through. The white flag is in the air from Barney. He's about 30 seconds away from his first win in the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series. Kendale Paul is about a second back. No threat. Ryan O'Donoghue 3.6 seconds. Jim Duda is a second and a half behind O'Donoghue. Duda may fall into the clutches of Wagner if he's not careful. We don't know how bad those tires were buzzed. But for tonight, it's all about Dylan Grutzmacher. He made the right call on strategy. He gets the new tires. He comes off of turn number 4. He flies underneath Barney, and it's going to be Dylan Grutzmacher, your winner tonight at New Hampshire. How about that?
How about that? Grutzmacher, a newer face in the series. Another new face gets his first AMA win here tonight.
Well, and you, Caleb, get to ask more serious questions in Victory Lane. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
And we see Dylan Grutzmacher. That is the Rogue Energy winning moment. If you go to rogueenergy.com and use promo code AMA24, you get 10% off your order. That's rogueenergy.com, promo code AMA24. Get 10% off of your order. Smocker burns them down. To end this one. And so for the Rogue Energy 175 here at New Hampshire, the record will reflect Dylan Grutzmacher as your winner. Kendall Paul runs second. Ryan O'Donohue comes home a fine third. In fourth, it's Jim Duda. Matt Wagner is fifth. Logan Edwards sixth. Kenny Smith seventh. Lewis Hayes eighth. Sam Crow ninth. And Chuck Sweeting rounds out your top 10. In 11th, it's Sean Robertson. David Dunwoody brings it home 12th. On his second set of tires, James Hodgson 13th. Jason Phillips 14th. Matt Schofield comes home 15th. Paul Witt, John Houchins, Ted Craven are the last of the runners. Greg Evans, Jeremy Dunwoody, and Donald Green retire from this one. 21 cars started, and I'm interested to see how this shakes out, Caleb, when it comes to the points. Because say Lewis Hayes, he did a lot. He finished 8th. Is it going to be enough?
It's going to be interesting to tell. It's going to be a close championship battle. In terms of results, say Lewis Hayes did everything he could. Whether or not it's going to be enough. The big picture is that Justin Osborne did not show up to the race here tonight. So if that plays a factor with how drop weeks work, he might get in with it.
He might. We're going to have to wait for the official calculations, but before we get those, we've got Ryan O'Donohue in the P1 broadcasting booth. Ryan, you've got Murph. You've got Caleb Brashear in the P1 broadcasting booth. You led a ton of laps. You come home third. Talk to us about your day.
Yeah, hey guys. It was up and down. I mean, I guess it was up, but we didn't finish where we wanted. Didn't really have much for the shifting deal. I was never gonna shift down a third. Gave the guys a lot of drive off the corner. Helped you rotate. I run this track one way after coming for 30 something years and watching races here. I kind of just go with what I know. The first stage went pretty good. The second stage we were kind of falling into a rhythm and got a couple yellows I didn't really want to see. We left Dylan out there and he drew the yellow and made it back by everybody. So it is what it is. Cool to be on a podium home track, and I love this place. So not a bad night. We'll look forward to the playoffs now, or the chase. I'm sorry.
The chase. No more playoffs. Chase. Caleb, what do you have for Ryan O'Donohue this evening?
So let's talk about. We were watching you and Duda kind of go at it at the end there. Talk us a little bit through that and how you're able to use the outside line to your advantage over him.
Yeah, it was fun. I like that diamond line. I think Kendall and I raced pretty hard like that for a few laps too, and we never touched each other. So it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun driving like that at this racetrack. There's just 2-3 lines wherever you look, and it was a good time.
All right, so before we let you get into your shout outs, I've been fighting with Bridget all night about chicken.
Oh boy.
So is it bone in chicken wings, boneless chicken wings, or dino nuggies?
Oh man, I think I've ate all 3 of them in the last week. So I'll go with tradition. I ate a whole bag of dino nuggets the other day.
Yeah. See, I'm not the only guy that appreciates dino nuggies. We have to buy those things by the like.
I'm a traditional
bag.
wing guy though. I like the traditional wings. I'll do chicken nuggets every once in a while, and never go wrong with a good boneless wing. So
see, I'm saying China. I'm saying that boneless wings are just giant soggy dino nuggies. Like I'll just have the sauce on the side and have some dino nuggies.
It depends on where you get them too. They got to be breaded right. You got to have the right sauce on it.
There you go. Well, now that we've discussed important matters, friends, family, sponsors, shout outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, my girlfriend for keeping you guys occupied. Making me hungry now. I know I got food waiting, so look forward to that. DVD Motorsports, all my guys. I'm doing it for John and I know Sam just heard from Charles. He's excited we're on podium for him again, and everybody on the car. Master goes by. Hey, we're in New Hampshire, so right down the road, sort of. High Torque, New York, Heatwave Visual, 80K Karting, Sim Magic, Sim Shop, AMA, everybody that put something into this league, and Kendall and all the admins and all the sponsors that they've got to keep this thing going, and Archway Industrial Coatings, Outland Custom Arms, Black Magic Studios, Track Racer, Rogue Energy, have my box. Always look forward to watching these races on P1 Broadcasting and listening to you guys call the races, and hope this one was pretty exciting. It seemed like a pretty good race from behind the seat, so I hope everyone enjoyed watching.
Yeah, it was a good time. Keep going fast, having fun, buddy, and we will see you at the next one.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Absolutely, that's Ryan O'Donohue. He will finish on the bottom step of the podium for the middle step, and it was oh so close tonight. He led for a good ways. Kendall Paul forced to settle for second. The tires overcame the long run speed in your number 78. Talk to us, Kendall, about your run.
Yeah, I thought we had one of the fastest trucks on the long run the entire night, which was really, really, really nice to finally have. And struggled a little bit there stage one to find the short run speed. We lost, 2.5 to 3 seconds on the leaders, and just found a groove there. And I think it was me and Sam were battling there stage one, and he got a little footed up a little bit, got me to get back to the lead. And I was like, well, it must be time to go. And I pulled out the tricks that I had planned, and it worked. We pulled away from him. We caught Jim Duda, got Jim Duda, and then I was really surprised to get Ryan O'Donohue there in stage one and get the stage win. It's nice to get a green checkered flag again, and it's been a while since we got one of those, and should speed off early. And but yeah, I did the same thing in stage two and just maintained there. Luckily, and again, tires were the cause of stage two not getting stage two, and then the tires were the cause at the end of the race. And I thought we maybe had something there as I was searching everywhere around the track for grip and just the right front tire, and the rears were tired and they were done, and I just had nothing for them there. And I just wish we had another set in the box, but it is what it is. And second place finish, scored the second most amount of points out of everybody tonight, and that's always good. And I kind of jinxed myself because I'm a Christopher Bell fan, and I said, I'm going to wear my Christopher Bell shirt today, so hopefully I don't finish second like he does all the time. And it comes back and bites me. So I feel how Christopher Bell feels. It's a good second place, but it's also one of those, it's a bad second place because we knew we had the speed tonight, and we've always had the speed here at New Hampshire and really love this track, and just come a little too short. And but yeah.
Caleb, what do you have for Kendall Paul this evening?
Well, that was the last race of the chase as we go into the last race of the regular season before we go into the chase. You had the best results out of anybody inside the top five. Ryan O'Donohue finishing right behind you. Talk to us as you seem to have a good string of runs here. Talk to us about the momentum you're going to carry into the chase here.
Yeah, we've started building back up, and maybe hopefully we're going to be starting to really rip some stuff off in the chase. And we got a week, and then we go to Bristol, and got another 2 weeks, and we go to my favorite track of Kansas Speedway, and we've always been really good there. And the chase schedule for us, I'm really excited for, besides maybe Talladega, but all tracks that we've had the speed and had the contention to win. And was getting a little nervous there for the chase as we kind of got into kind of a little bit of a dip there in June and a little late to July. The two road courses back to back, and then North Wilkesboro again. That was another strategy thing that ended up not going our way. And that's something I guess the 78's I got to figure out is the strategy and the way to close these things, because it seems like we got the speed. It's just we can't close it because of strategy, or a yellow we can't account. We're not accounting for comes out, and we got to get screwed on that front. And I don't know how you figure that out, but it's something we got to figure out here for the chase. We got a week to kind of stir it over, think about it, and just got to maximize our points days. Just that's been the goal all year for us, and building that momentum to get the most amount of points besides the winner is really good to have that right before the chase. So we just got to transfer it over to the chase and keep doing it every single week. And I believe we can do it. And so we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's been a good run, and really excited for the team. Well, really excited for the team as John made the chase. So I'm really excited for that.
Absolutely. And so in continuing what we've been talking about for most, if not all, of the evening, we've been discussing some different things. What is your go-to rain delay board game, Kendall? The races in a rain delay. What's your go-to board game? What are you playing?
Oh man, that's a tough one. There's a lot of good ones. I almost got to say Yahtzee just for my mom. We play Yahtzee a lot with it's my mom's favorite game, and I guess I'm just gonna have to go Yahtzee. I mean, I don't really play board games during the rain delays. I'm more just kind of watching the radar because I'm a weather nerd, and so I'm watching the weather, seeing when the rain's gonna stop, and forecasting. But if I'm doing something, I'd probably say Yahtzee, because if you're at the track and you're in the car or something, it's a good, easy thing to just pass the little thing around, the board around, and yeah, I'll go Yahtzee.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Friends, family, shout outs. You got the floor, my man.
Yeah, like always, I got to thank Archway Industrial Coatings, Sean Mont, Jason Southard, all the guys that make the Archway sponsorship possible. They've everything they see here today, like I say all the time, it's because of them, and I can't thank them enough. And got to thank Outland Custom Arms, Randy Dunlap, for their jumping on board for this year, and really excited to have those two sponsors. They've been really great to work with, and like I said, everything you see here tonight is because of them, and I can't thank them enough. And I gotta even give more thanks to Sean and Archway for kind of letting AMA kind of do whatever, or kind of pitch things to them, and they're willing to listen and let us kind of do whatever we kind of want, which is awesome to have. And it's great to have their input on things, and so I can't thank them enough. They're helping me with what I've been calling Project 27, and I'm really excited to announce that I am getting ready. It's almost done to where I can announce it, so I'm really excited to announce that out finally to everybody. But I got to thank all the other sponsors: Tractor Racer, Rogue Energy, Admin Box, Black Magic Studios, Sim Shop, all those guys that make an effort into our partnership and sponsorship. Can't thank them enough. And they also help the hamster wheel go around. So can't thank them enough. Got to thank all the staff and everybody, and got to thank the team. Like I said before, I'm really happy for John. He's making the Truck Series playoffs, and he's going to be making probably most likely. I don't know if he's locked in for sure, but it's going to be pretty much locked in for him to be in the Grand National chase. So I'm really excited for him. That's going to be the first time that he's ever done that. So it's a major accomplishment for him, and got to give thanks and praise to him. And I think he's going to do really well here in the chase. So I'm really excited to see that. But then all the other teammates, James, John, Ted, Mike, and everybody else at Interstellar Esports. Some of them got in some other accidents, so I'm bummed out for them for their but hopefully we can get some more cars in the chase here come Thursday at Daytona. I think we got a really good shot to have 3 or maybe even 4 in the chase. I thank you guys up here in the P1 booth, and I thank you for all you do, and thank you to everybody that was watching at home, and thanks to the friends and family that support me doing this. And yeah, we'll go on to Bristol, and then I guess we got to go to Daytona first and find out the chase field there. So excited to see what happens out of there.
100%. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Kendall, keep going fast, having fun, my man.
Yep, you too. You guys have a good night. See you next week.
Absolutely. That is Kendall Paul. He finished second for tonight's win. It's the man who gambled on the tires. He gets to the front. He makes the pass. First on Kendall Paul, then Ryan O'Donohue, and sets off into the sunset. It's Dylan Grutzmacher. Dylan, you've got Murph, you've got Caleb Brashear in the P1 broadcasting booth. How much of a gamble did you perceive staying out was? First of all,
I knew it was going to be a pretty rough one, because I've got pretty bad luck when it comes to that, where when I need a yellow, it usually doesn't happen.
But you did get it You got your yellow, and then how tough was it to drive back through the field? You were using it. You look like you were running Indianapolis in about the late 1980s, all the way on the apron. When did you discover that line, and how were you able to make it work when so many other guys wouldn't go down there?
That's just from Dustin Hall and Nick Ottinger over at Team Conti, running with them and practice sessions and all that. They kind of pointed out that there's a lot of grip down there. You just need to be very cognizant of your throttle and make sure you have that egg between your foot and the throttle.
There you go. For only the most serious of questions in Victory Lane, I turn you over to my partner in crime, Caleb.
Serious.
The most serious questions, turn you over to my partner in crime, Caleb Brashear. Caleb, go ahead.
Well, it's your first win here in the AMA.
Oh boy, he's going to get baptized tonight. Here we go.
He's gonna have experience with this one. We ask this to every single first-time winner in the AMA. What is your favorite chicken wing flavor?
Mango habanero's up there, and a good old-fashioned barbecue is pretty good too.
That might be the most unique answer we've gotten. The mango habanero. That might be up there.
Yeah, mango habanero is not one that you'll ever. I mean, I have really bad acid reflux, so you'll never have me eating anything with habanero in it. But that is by far the most unique one. I'm a solid fan of the barbecue. But you're on the podium at P1. You get in the winner's circle. You get the mic. Friends, family, sponsors. Shout them out, Dylan. You've certainly earned it.
I just gotta throw this one out there. That one was for Justin. Again, my condolences to you guys and the P1 broadcasting team. I gotta thank my buddy Jason Phillips. He is the reason why we got into this league, and it's a heck of a time. And gotta thank Team Conti with all of their stuff with running setups and test sessions and one-on-one driver training. And I just gotta say, rest in peace, Owen Morgan.
That joke is not over my head. Thank you so much, Dylan, for stopping in to the booth. Keep going fast, having fun, buddy. We'll see you at the next one.
You guys have a good night.
Yes, sir. That's Dylan Grutzmacher. He is tonight's winner. That one was not over your head either, was it, Caleb?
No, it wasn't. And, speaking of the race itself, to close things off here, it was an interesting race. Typically at New Hampshire, it can either be one of two ways. It kind of gets either very, very single line, or it could be an absolute bloodbath. And we kind of got a mixture of both. We got long green flags runs early in both stage number 1 and stage number 2, and they kind of got single file. But other times, especially in stage number 3, we got a lot of side-by-side close battle action between the entire field, and especially with the caution that came out halfway, that kind of jostled everything up. And some drivers decided to stay out like Dylan did and take a gamble on tires, and then they pitted, and the gamble really paid off, not only for him but likes of Matt Wagner as well. Say hey Lewis Hayes. We still don't know. I don't believe the points are in yet. I haven't checked, but
I have it. So your 2026 AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series chase for the championship is as follows: Logan Edwards, Kendall Paul, Ryan O'Donohue, Matt Sizzler, Austin Hund, Paul Witt, Sam Crow, David Dunwoody, John Houchins, an intense spot. 3 points to the good. He makes it. Say hey Lewis Hayes. Congratulations to that top 10. That's gonna be a fun final 10 races upcoming here on the channel. If you want fun races, tomorrow you've got the iRacing IndyCar Series presented by 40 Raceway, 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard, right here on P1. It's from the Chicago Street Circuit, standing in for DC. The IndyCar Open Series on Monday night, 8:00 Eastern Standard. They're at the Milwaukee Mile. They're going to be followed by the Indy Next Road Series Top Split at 10. Tuesday night, it's the IndyCar Oval Series, 8:15, also at the Milwaukee Mile. 9:30, it's the Indy Next Tuesday night Top Split at the Milwaukee Mile, the Oval. And lastly, it's Area 51 After Dark, 9:30. Join Andrew Wood and I from Phoenix, and that's going to be the good Phoenix, not the bad one. On Wednesday, the Horizon IndyCar Series at Road America at 8 o'clock p.m. At 8:20, it's the Formula Indy Series from the Superior Detroit layout at Belle Isle. Thursday night, we've got the Elite Racing League P1 IndyCar Championship at 7:45, and the AMA Outland Custom Arms Grand National Series live from Daytona, 8:20 p.m. No trucks next week. The next Truck Series race is going to be on September the 11th. It'll be the Bristol Night Race, and that is one of my favorite events. We do want to thank everybody for tuning in, joining in the fun. Tonight, if you haven't already done it, make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you ring the bell and subscribe to the channel. I want to thank all the drivers on the track, as well as the fans in the stands one more time. I want to thank Caleb Brashear for putting up with the fact that I cannot talk. And above all, we want to thank the people who really make it possible. The military, the police, the firemen, the EMTs driving the ambulance, and the nurse that unloads you when you get there. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you all, and we will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock.